Finder is a real estate company that focuses on property development within the Gambia. We pride ourselves with providing not just quality and durable houses, but also state-of-the-art designs tailored to our clients' tastes and expectations. Our unique experience and expertise is second to none in the industry. We are currently building and selling 3-bedroom bungalows at Sukuta Traffic Lights and Jabang. We're also building and selling 3-bedroom story buildings at Sukuta Paradise. Other sites are also in the pipeline. With CareFinder, payment options are available. With just 40% deposit, you can get your house started. For more information, contact us on 329-5188, 727-0049, 709-8418. You can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram at CareFinder. With CareFinder, you are assured of a secure investment.
APS letter. Ndemu APS letter. APS Gambia lemu APS. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyati mwete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyati mbondari taba futuola. At least it ya fonte ko APS min kullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyati mbo. Yo min fo enda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kino. Min tata fo wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindi jam.
Ako. Nyati mbo. Nko ko kabo transito. Katawula fo wuli muang. Ite fenne dola. Womu zero feel between kabo was 20,000 la kasele san eke tamuna eke charge na fanga buka fensi
wait
1% na malam mati
wota yara gamen no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko ki ibadi ngol
ya jele ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari men ko mayata be wala fanga mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko 24 ndi nawek
ha
ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas power isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
wata mbade ngameno albesito ulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela lam baylo kon APS wallet nyaata doro bari koto nim fata do suko kon to
ni be fono le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fole
basiti jembita ndori gi sajede kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Looking for the perfect home away from home in the Gambia? Welcome to BC's Residence, your ideal short-stay apartment in the heart of Bundum. Whether you're visiting for business, pleasure, or an extended stay, BC's Residence offers you the comfort, convenience, and privacy you deserve. Enjoy spacious, well-appointed accommodations in a peaceful neighborhood just behind Nusrat High School. Our residence combines modern amenities with authentic Gambian hospitality, ensuring your stay is both comfortable and memorable. At BC's Residence, you are not just booking a room, you're finding your perfect base to explore all that the Gambia has to offer. Ready to book your stay? Contact us today. +220-941414. BC's Residence at gmail.com. BC's Residence, Bundum, behind Nusrat High School. Your comfort is our priority.
Assalamualaikum baringolu ngali konton ngali bismillah momrandi yalon ko be ker fatu jube kanyin tembe namba falale ala baraka baba bake alkalla wato menta kabulan no man ninyi wato sida alladi grand bantaba programme le mialon ko akana arjuma ninyi wato sida man sola dunyo kanjam kanana jam ka pol kacha mialon ko ade demdi banko no ko la fo politiko le ban fo ko kote namba ke kacha janne be molten la be jayla men yalon ko wolle be star ki kan ni tembe na ni ngatara ibe star ki kan ni tembe namba fo le ya baraka baba bake mbafala fana al kenten ka star ki ni ngatre programme jube kam YouTube le is subscribe no je subscription is free of charge ibuke kanim fenna bawo fengo dol be je men yalon ko nke findindi na YouTube channel mbukol findindi Facebook ko to jagoto mbafala mobe drong yeta na YouTube ye subscribe je nimboro do drong kalam tandi ko bunda fula mi alon ko wolle nyim programme sembentu yandi ka fasa wala mu APST anin care finder APS eto mu bunda mi alon ko kodi kiwo anin ka kodota e ka mamma wol fanala Gambia banko kanjang nanata kodi kiwo la akamunta nyonta wolle muti sika mantere la koro nyosa mantara ila service wala karola Gambia banko kanjang andu ningatara mole muti mi alon ko ibe Angleterre banko kan waranto ibe dulado mi alon ko wole mu America waranto Canada ti ise kodo kino nan kana Gambia jang wato sifa bela andum fan ise kodo kino any mobile number instantly 24/7 access isa soto no nyim fannala andunga ejinol soto men yalon ko asiyata mo wili sabati ejinol men yalon ko ebe banko tonkon nano beto do ko lalbe mbulu na customer service nyalon ko timin nango diata nyindula nyinto jere bari app kilimbe Gambia banko kanjan safo app kilimbe caring mobe nyanta sotla ila bul kono telefono kono le wala mu APS wallet app nyinti nyimu ableti mialon ko aka kujamaleke adaba kono ise kaspa sanno kashe sino fo tuto dutla ni la kaspa banta ise ni app use no ka kaspa san bari manda woro ise credit ko fanan sanno nying app nyintole nyim bem kulati mialon ko APS ka kele Gambia banko kanjang ila bundal be banko tonkon nano belto nyato domandi albela nomba jela screen no duma nge tentu nge jay kabriye blodu nyum programme ko ka sembentu yandi ka fasa adaben na sponsor so kono wala mu ke findati nanata kordalo anin korda wafola Gambia banko kanjang nyontan wala muti sika mantere ifanan na kuro ni ngatara e lafta ke la kordalo watila wato mialon ko te lafta wala ni frada ni molma men yalon wala mu ke findati e be ma ko ila korda e balola ate wicila mialon ko abe tariala bake andu ite fon be la fila wala bari manda woto korda lori mbandingo nyul bebe bulle Gambia banko kanjang nal frate ma drong ibal ma ko la andum do kulal be bulu men yalon ko e fanan timinango diata bake nye tentu bake nye jay tumala mene ye bulu du nyim programme ko to ka sembentu yandi ka fasa ninnata nga kujamalle kacha adaba kono politiko lembang ku koten lembang mi alon ko amanke politiko di nganyul be kacha nyim programme to janne nal hakilo baka ku jamal leketa lo kun tambilala Gambia banko kanja andum be kacha la nyim banko kanja nal hakilo baka his excellency president Adama Barrow mi alon ko wolem banko la alpha bati aketa moti mi alon ko United Democratic Party la alpha ba mem loya Ousainou Daboti ay hajabile kuma ko mi alon ko ay wala fo kabirabe diam kam banko dingole kabiring ye Ousainou Bojang na bare muso bula mi alon ko wolem baroti ako hani kabi ala mansa kunda ila lo la ya bamandla ya mentene ge to liya jela ko andu to latel ko hani kabi ko Ousainou atela bulobe nyum ko kono andum ay tandir fananke ko loya Ousainou Dabo abulo man senea nyum ko nyum fon kono baro yo nyimbe fole metingo mi alon ka soto dulato mi alon wala so minati bari mbe kubo fanan kacala membe dending Ahmed Jite kuma ko mi alon ko ay wala fo ngajele moy findita iba jabi kan Ahmed Jite afana ndiamu tele kaytandi ko ako polisolo ay yelo la bamande to stand on their ground andum van ye force use if necessary nanata nyi molmen yalon ko ikela balamba itani memo protesta soldi demonstration mi yalon ko wala ketan van mbo ko fanan kacala jane ni wato enso fulo fanan lafa mbo fanan ko kacala le Gambia banko kanjang ngal luntan so jang mi yalon ko naka kul kaca andu bi fanan ngaluntan kilim fanan so jam mi yalon ko mo kuma balemu ato man nukun nanata banko do ko wala fanala ato man nukun nanata ka kibaro janjandi banko wala fanala nyato do mandi albajalale na luntan momenti bar folo ben na panel so dun la drong Mr Tunkara bismillah
ya baraka bage Mr Job me konton na colleagues panelis on dul fanan konton na luntan ba and me duala fanan en badin Cristiano fanan bi is volamila fenko di ka fome ko Good Friday ifana ngama len sa ba kana banne o moza ba bandale sai and then be duala tengwe sabati banko kan en be duala banko e tengko ay sabati aywa be kerifatu na viewers bol fanan konton na Gambia kono an Gambia banda anin dokulal men be jang ba be konton na ba fala mul bale jambi pour que kacha Gambia la tanyato.
Thank you so much, Mr. Sise. Welcome back again. Bismillah.
Thank you, Sidi. Baraka Bake, be panelisul be kontona, Mr. Tunkara, Mr. Mane, Sidi be fon kontona, be luntamba kontona, be jiberlal fana be kontona, mo be dawda kan jibe dawda be kontona kafa assalamu alaikum. Mu program dolo fana de mi anko grand bantaba lundola mate, inshallah baleja.
Mane?
Baraka Bake Sidi, pour kan soto jambi fana be Mr. Tunkara mba fanan konton na bi bake fon hala nala anin Ibrahima Sidi te fon anin luntango mi soto jambi mi mo keme senti bari fanan be jiber lal fanan tentula bake milialon ke kan jibe banko kan anin banko e bandala anin fanan milialon ke be feto kono bi mo Cristiano be dol fanan ba fole ko happy Easter ka fe ko almay dina kono kay refintila kono kay fanan Baraka Bake.
Thank you so much. Hanikabi mbe tawole face straight akamunta nyaro do manding Ablay Alba fana njelale studio kono jang afanan aman jamfa bake akamunda Alba fana njelale bari mbe menkela drong wala mu benna luntango dun lale afanan ni jamaay ño konton bi na luntango multi miya lonko farmansa ta bake awaniata bake nanata ka kibarol di membe dending kitiyo la fanna molemati miya lonko akamunta aka kibarol janjam bake andu fan kibar bunda jamal be je men ya lonko e ka rely nin ko e ka sembe bake ala kibarol men ya lonko aka wollidi nanata court reporting na molemati mi ya lonko consistency aya maintain ni sanji jama nanata ka kibarol janjande kiti bu wala fannala andu adabe mul kono men ya lonko kibar tala balle moti mi ya lonko ilota bake mola case la mi ya lonko wolem Usenu bojanna case nyinti akamunta kabirin a case datita fa akumfa lato adabe kibar talal kono namanke foloti mo safono adabe mo flanyo kono men ya lonko e ka kibar sahayar ngol di nanata nyin case la fanala nabe ku jamal kacalale bar mo le fana mati mi ya lonko amu membalati gala kono mo le mati mi ya lonko faramansata baba bake nabe ku jamal kacalale ate fanga do ko be lari nyamin nanata kiti wala fanala waranto ka kibarol di membe dending kiti wala karola kiti bungol to taring ko ya kul men ya lonko aka wolle taki anin akamunta ay nyaruta ku ba min soto je nanata ka kibarol janjandi nanata court reporting na bi nalunta menti drong wole mu kemesen saneti jama ka fay Kexx Sanneh bi atela mun nalunta wate di grand bantaba programme to nabe ku jama le kacara bali folo mbadun lali ani jama ño konton Mr. Sanneh ñe dia grand bantaba bismillah
Baraka Bake content Bake pour ka mun manja janka mun dala yale wato wati rek na nata pour banko kacala kan content pour ngasi banko la ko kacha wajani bitan si fa kontom pour opportunity la ka kerfatu na la do kulal be kondo andandi la ko content wala ñenti always pour ngana banko la ko kacha ko paneli sol men fana la ko beje do ko ñol moy den kala kibarol la moy len kala kacha la moy be hamom minute wolen pour banko bitano nyaado nyame bayri beta tara no kankili moto ba nen kacata rek silo ka soto no nen silo soto rek nka si hakilol di nyola nga nyola hakilol ta contenta baba ke pour kana programme moto.
Thank you so much Mr. Sanneh mina kan nyaado do mandin drong bari ngana first topic o dundi nga jele His Excellency President Adama Barrow memu bankola Alpha Bati nga jele wati dantan komando ay meeting lato mialon ko wolum foni so mita sate konoti damiya lon ko nyina mo signa folote president a diamuta kabiring mo mialon ko wolum Usenu bojanna bari mo sote kabiring kiti bungo ye acquit nin ko mu tumiro men yalon ko ye be dendi kamoda e ko loi me bondi inate bula acquitted and discharged keta moti mialon ko president diamuta kola ayiten dirke je akaka mun ko ila mansa kunda hani kabi ila position ya maintain e be lorin dame e to lata ko
akamunta usenu na bari muso waranto usenu atele moti mialon ko akamunta responsible ta nyim PIU official ila fala nyim la nyinto joto bari fana akete moti fana moyalon ko ay bayro kele ruling mialon ko kiti tela e woldi memu justice Ibrahima Jadeti president ano baro nyi be tan di jele bari fana mole mati mialon ko akamunta ay mojabi mialon ko wala usenu la usenu daboti widi pita nyaton ko akamunta afana akamunta abulo man senea nyindla ni be ko mi alon ko president Adama Barrow ya fo nyindla nyinto joro aciocio warta baba bake kabirim president statement on nyenke ngajele mol finditale ya jabi nyindla nyinto joro ko na panel sol mba ko kacala follow tunkara munum la reaction about the president statement I guess even meeting nyinto jelo
no reaction on president statement on which part of it
about
the appeal or the UDP part or the Uzenda?
No, abe mo killing wanted wrong. Abe mo killing wanted wrong about Sakunda la position of Kanu ko still akamunta to la ko hanika be responsible.
Yes, abaraka bage sidi kunumbejele biri ko wani fokan and president wa men fo kunu follow wala mo keso ni membe keri Gambia sainteng ama ni manke fendi membe mabori mobe yalunne menkeda mobe yalunne jomale mutata mobe yalunne what has been membe nun caring for last week Monday menkeda fana dambe be yolunne so diamo president wa men follow I men confirm wala mnyindiko Mansakunda langani already Minister of Justice yo kuma kango bondile janim president obe diamula kaitandi bango dingol lako judgment menkeda delivered by Justice Jade they have taken note of it and then they have they will review it and they also express their interest pour ko be judgment on imang bari telunde as Mansakunda men yemu sen accuse ko ate abe ko atele nyin koke ibe judgment on iba appeal so wala men yitandi wala nyin diko na bankola judicial system once the government is very unwilling just like every other Gambian puruka ela right exhaust through legal mean so ngara president wala kumo wale gena confirm because Ministry of Justice ya folenu but maybe mojama fana mbenu Mansakunda preso kanne I know many people are pressuring government through social media and other mean ko ninkeso nyanta bulala tenne you know let's just sleeping dogs malaka fanyadi I so Mansakunda wale confirm I wale jab ka dani wala ko all mol men be campaign ke kan wosilola alsalo ngala campaign manta blato ndol fana na luato ma fo loi santo de loi duma within the ambit of the law in the country I feel more silo dinna pour ngeen na keso ñim posu mbo kelale aduna na ñim manke Mansakunda damati and this is a comme ndeka wone for all the time go our judicial system our institution of government should be tested all the time so I like people that are doing this kind of thing including government you know when issues are Nicole Keta let us not sit idly nga foko ha ñinko banta janne tumando fente kenale no I don't believe in that principle I believe if ngol fel londi ka institutional lem ala lodula doko le babul so the only way ibalu na ko doko nafa wala nafa tala ni attest so ni attest le bo lonna so Supreme Court keda janne before now Gambia mojama mamira ko you can take somebody to Supreme Court for example when local government chairmen take government to Supreme Court so many people believe ko is a dead on arrival but what happened at least they have set a standard in the country now. You can no longer remove a chairman because of 3 months of election. I enter the card for you. What are you? Yakum Jade case against the president in the eyes of many people. At that time, he who appoint can fire. So that was natural from Gondelanga. But Supreme Court have a different approach. It was tested. Yakum Jade, challenge the president. In fact, that was even more personal because that is challenging the president authority. This one is a government. One of the government mercenaries that you are actually is trying to challenge, and a case in court. But that what was challenging a government, a sitting president who came to power with so much goodwill. You understand? He has a popular support of Gambian people. But one person stood on her ground and challenged the case in the Supreme Court. Even when the initial ruling was, she lost at the High Court, I am sure people go to her and say, but she believed in the principle of which Adememi caring is wrong. She went and challenged it, and Supreme Court ruled against the president. Now, my finance saying is a clear in Gambia now. President can nominate a member of parliament, but they cannot remove a member of parliament. So, saying Masakunda Fananko, High Court, a judgment of Menke, or trial court as the case may be, a judgment of Menke with respect to the Usman's Bojan case. So, Masakunda Fananko, we are going to appeal. That have shown Gambia Jang, the rule of law, Abejan side, and our institution of government are allowed to operate independently, because if a higher court can make a judgment against a high-profile case like this, against government, a sitting government, who, in eyes of many, Masakunda have a, instrument of so many things to coerce lawyers, judges to rule in their favor. But at least, what this have shown Gambian, Nani Masakunda, Abuka, Asimo accused the Asamo court, Asimo Mutale, through by using instrument of law to take you to court or arrest you. But what they will not do is to coerce adjudicators to adjudicate in their favor, because the ruling has come against government. It does not come. It doesn't favor government, and even though it only any more accused, and the honor is on government now to say, okay, we have accepted the ruling in good faith, and we move on. Or no, we are going to explore other means by appealing, and that's what the president have said. And there's nothing wrong with the government appealing to this case. So whatever comes after that, court, again, the appeal court also will look at that later. But at least
case is very sensitive, and Jojo I attended ko man Sakunda, they don't do credible investigation. Nana than you konyana. Purka jaro.
That is Joe's statement.
You understand? So ninga altara nyim konying appeal. For ilatare ko ni appealo nyim abedu nale bang. Ni ajube evidences all many along ko ye wolle gada ye be landi nyoka nyingla.
You see,
do you believe ko appeal?
I believe that men wole nyindiko. Yalong, come like I always said, we should exhaust all means possible. Nuko da fanda adan amira nyawonya inde banal hanna da Supreme Court ni ala sonda ade banal so na pandem nyami Supreme Court hanna I'm just saying that is the highest court in the land ade banal. But at least when this matter was going on, in fact the very day the kuninko keta Gambia Jang, everybody was panicked, okay. But bring rules now go high Bojang arrestly. So people start having different. I'm sure some people already convicted Bojang before this judgment was done. In fact, when initially, they arraigned him initially, and the media parade that Menkeda, so the evidence is for some people that who doesn't follow that much, in their mind, when they don't even know if a but like I said, court does not adjudicate based on public perception and public opinion. In the court, they apply the principle of proving your case beyond reasonable doubt. Proving your case alone is not enough in court for a judge to make a judgment in your favor. It's a beyond reasonable doubt. For instance, I'm giving you one example. There are so many reasons why somebody should lose a case as well. It's not only about evidence you present, but of course, the manner of which you bring your evidence can make you lose your case. So this case is a very highly sensitive. I remember one of the cases in America, I was just reading about it. So somebody that they knew, he was accused of killing someone. But Masakunda moment Nafi can testify against that person. Until a witness, the principal witness, was the lawyer to the suspect, brought an evidence against that principal witness. He once lied on the oath. So there, whatever he said here should not be taken seriously. And because of that, that person was acquitted.
Okay.
So which means appeal court, they can go there. But depending on what the judge and what I don't know what kind of appeal they're going to do.
Okay.
Because the appeal can go in so many ways. They can also I'm not sure. They are allowed to bring additional. I don't know about that. I'm not a lawyer, but I know for sure the appeal court, they are going to review the presentation that were made in the trial court, the procedure, and the judge found additional time. And judge if they have something that they think that judge found the way and manner he made a decision is biased, they can raise those things there. So the appeal court have now right to look at the judge conduct, the proceeding, the presentation made, oral and oral submission, and the written submission, and then now evaluate it and make their decision. That is entirely in the hands of court. And then let's allow the justice. At least this have shown government is not pressuring government to jail Usman. What this have shown is government commitment in following due process. Okay, and then while there must be a justice for those who lost their life in this process, unfortunate process, there should also be seen to be fair to Usman, in this case the suspect, because they are all equal. They all nimbe bantale, nimbe balurine, but there must be a fair trial, and so far we have seen that.
Okay, ngajale President Dabo reply jabile publicly ako abul man senaya sukura jabang police shooting case nyento. Dolko, this is a serious allegation. What evidence did the president have pour kanyong kumasi fafo Dabo ma? Muna reaction of the president on a statement. Do you think
if you look at that statement, bringing go before people were laughing. But when the president was talking about appeal, he was even the language on which he spoke changed. Anybody who watched, I was there, and anybody who actually watched it, you know that president tried to have a time on speak on Dabo as a politician, and has a time on speak to Gambian on the issue. But very briefly, he was very brief and concise with respect to the desire of government to appeal. It was a political response to Dabo, because Dabo make a state of nation address, for God's sake. There are so many cases that happen in this country. I mean, the oppositions are not coming out and speaking the way they are speaking about this case, but I can understand. I mean, at some point, they were kind of, linked to the case. So in case of Wilta, Anata, they also want to show that they have indicated they are not the one. But the reality is, they have never taken any opposition to court to say that you are suspect. They have never been invited to come and testify they are suspect or anything. So obviously, President Moro responding to Dabo does not mean about focus. He's telling them why he's too much interested. Why are you too much interested? This should be, look, it's a police officer, for God's sake. He's emphasized, we don't know him from Adam. He has no political inclination to any political party that I know. And it's not a threat to anybody. Why would they pass the entire Gambian, the entire Burusubi, the entire West Coast, and pick one person from all the way from Senegal? So it's a cause for alarm, but that is for the prosecutors to prosecute that matter in court. And I think that is there. So far they are doing that. So either they will get what they, and then Alakumo Kokafoko Mansakuna believed that, because Mansakuna they are accused. Obviously, if they don't believe he is the suspect, they wouldn't have arrested him. So they believe but President Moro response Dabo call it Dabo. Anybody who listens to what Dabo said, Dabo was being too political, trying to polarize the entire situation against God. Because you know what the oppositions are doing? If you see the changes off camera, this opportunity approved. If you see all their tendencies, opposition all mall, in the social media mall, and both on media and online, it's an opportunity, come on, Masakuna Bondi, Masakuna Bola, and Ibafla, this is even a sign, April, in fact, they even want people to die. That's how bad some of this opposition want. They want people to die in this process so that they can say, look, there should be a time in every nation life when issue like this happen. Every country have this kind of situation that occurs. Do you understand? If you look at Israel right now, I'm just giving an example. Israel is fighting in their mind, they are fighting. But if you look at opposition force in Israel, they are not fighting the government. So anybody who wants to be government president, you are going to superintend over entire government, including police force. And you need police to do their job.
All right.
So you cannot be seen as opposition, trying to incite the government against police. If you come to government The same opposition also are going to incite, so there are things that we must not say. There are presidencies are very bad and wrong. To me, these are the presidents that we should not. Politicize. Last program, I don't want to politicize it because I am looking at from both sides. From the family of those who have children or kids have already lost their life, and there is no hope for them that is not coming back. Well, anyhow you give them justice, it will not be equal to the life they lost. Do you get? At least for Usman, for Hussein, at least for now, there is no case because Hussein is having a 15 years of life imprisonment. Okay? So his lawyers can continue defending their case in court. But we also need to be a little bit sensitive to those families that our kids are dead. And we are telling them, carry you far, but as if they are nobody. That should come together and push for due process.
Right,
that's what I'm advocating for.
Thank you. Sise, ye president wala statement o jele ay memfo til dantang komando ako mansakunda ito lateral still ko Useno is responsible and ay dabo jabile ko abulo man senea nyimbundiro mi alon ko wole keta nyindo ay dabo jabi o fananto la kabriya moy yata nyandi la munemula reaction
abaraka bake siri president wala karola kay namra ala statement o way mol mawle ala statement o mol sogle that was totally unacceptable, and then we didn't think, not at all, coming ko president from belola ka hani ka kumafo ni atara afonse mira nun komanta demanding ka foko anene afole ko foni aya bloku usenda kaburoka anyenda fon reference la nun walale nyin kamala kaje ko the same utterance akana happen ya family because kamo allege kafoko ay modo fa akonyin deminna waratale andu mo manye na kila tulunti nga kumo fo drong nga ay mimuto nyati drong sanawiya sototal mbenga na Gambia banko kan sanawiya sototal but niatara mbenyo sanawiya la is normal but there is a case mi alko aba hapunta andu banku dingo be la sulolo woto ngamira president o nyanta tulundu la lon nale anyanta mina kala tulungoti anyanta mina kala tulu amanya mina kala tulungoti ate anala mansukunda do kulal kabirin case hapunta follow e nyante la time talale e case new study e investigation all tamande pour nyin kamala how they can be able to gather their evidence at the onset kabiru dum follow la but in my investigation all from Keno follow it started finding from different angle, from the spokesperson, from the how to call the security head, from the police, it being that a statement will be and statement will be a code in your knowledge. Because if you think the government spokesperson anyanda min diamla at least anyin police will nyanda nyomoila at least any security head nyanda nyomoila ani mazafo nyanda nyomoila so that na diamda akamansal kunda la kumofo bara dama ina diamla police le na diamu wole ko di nyonna man security head fana na diamu kumo fana ni spokesperson ko manyota ya foko UDP la nyi hire to do this act ya foko yankuba dawo fanga la do kulalo nyindi at the area council o fana manta ya family and ya foko nyimu liberality from customers o fana manta ya family suiba yelen ko ni president o be lorin platform oto say banku be ba jibele be ba la moyla o de ngamra tanyanta hakilu tula bakele aba minefola with respect to this matter ibayere nabo kumo minfola at least at the court asala ba approve no nyame bare yon kumo fo saying case nying appeal da sorry case nying adjudicator ye mol muta ye set free usendo na la sister ye accused ye discharge so the internal platform to kotenge ko kari bulo no tanyin konole let's be straightforward usendo bulo no tanyin konole then mean ya now bringing another allegation nyango you need to prove at the court all how to call beyond all reasonable doubt. You understand? And your case, in fact, whether your appeal is filed or not filed, because the duration that was given is 30 days period. What 30 days period o nying ngalo na koy fana nyante la time tali la case nyinte da kuke. Ya da kuke kaje ko ni mu the appeal court, then they don't lose at the appeal court. In fact, and they lose the appeal court, they still have another appeal. It's a minkeno at the Supreme Court, which is the last resort. So if I go, the president will step killing sort of lenyato for fla. Asala kumaka cross back in Abu Diamola in the public. Because more of here, Mansafa or Diamola, go fully. You understand? So in this case, the Gambia Police Force, the article, which is also part of article enforcing the law, I can say, and then the president himself, Nyaji Gambia Police Force, it will like a law nying tamande. President, adolmo executive, judiciary from the minfo. It don't man or ga arm lady saying ka bring judgment on yin deliver. Ka bring judgment or deliver. President wa judgment of phone tale ko kiti bu ma deliver. Individual or deliver. From his the same statement against Usain Dabo. A statement of Minke Usain Nakuoro. The same speech I have for Nyaming. I attend the ko individual or kiti o kundu, not a court. Because I have for ko individual more kunkilin na kiti o kundu and more had about the more aka mistake le. One statement on yanda consider la bakela yanda cross la bakele. Because we expect the whole Gambia, we all have mbenga sulo so in case tole. Nyaja case mulba normal bake benga sulo so tole. Ya family. Nso land ro hago bwe nso land. So mbenga case so mbenga sulo so. Udungamra president atela appeal anyanda focus la walla masakunda can say masakunda anyanda focus la appeal la nyana. Isa the all side talks all whatever another allegation first allegation it will be minkela akala ibadande ya family but ate kiti bumo ke mo kunkili nalet wala nyindi ko mo kiti ko as a mistake or so no simple at the first go I acknowledge ko na judgment or receive le you understand ne? As another arm of the government like the executive after ko na judgment or receive le and nga acknowledge le nga bunyale barenton le load la munyinati case minto it's simple ina lo bla mu minti wolon ko kiti o kundu da nyami amman kundu nin ton la fala nyami woton ton man sekunda bon ton le be lori state vaso zelo woton ton ba kiti o tala ko ten naita high court ka ko nyin jibe ku ko ntol man lala anyanda danna nu wolto banna ya foko mo le nyin kiti o kundu that mean like na rentel mu kiti ndel ba sirin tableau. That means Ibrahim Sise Kiti Okunto. So I am being considered not even a presiding judge, but I am considered just as Ibrahim Sise. I am treated in this case just like Ibrahim Sise. So in the case of Justice Jete, President Obayi Jete treated Kan as an individual, not even as a presiding officer in the High Court. You understand me? So Ibrahim Ko Kisi Mintara and Nuvanang. Ni kiti o mintara tem police ole minta mande ani luwa manta nyadi bawo ko protection of me ko every person musolo wo kelo wo amaria protection of me in the constitution ko against double jeopardy. There is a term in law is against double jeopardy. That simply mean ko ite mo mutalia arrest ko la kafo ko ya kiti ni minna fo ya block ko minna inyanda folo model ko kukuto fele ay nyina commit budungo o time wala prison director binala nan ko to nya ka confirm he nyim fon kabrin to ngambula lungo minna afindi da bandare kay prison officer dole bi ja tulo le bum o do case nin kama ba arrest la wala ba prison officer man nana mi wala prison director man nana ka foko ay kelo ke prison ne wala dulal la tinya o dulal la vandalize in prison mimba tinala they call for his rearrest. But he's been arrested based on the same facts, based on the same issues, based on the same everything. And then in the law or in our constitution, section 24 paragraph 6, subsection 6 prevent that passing against double jeopardy.
Okay.
You understand? So if I ko ni na na ku korosi bake mimbije wala nyindi be tembo minto banko be fundo bakandere nyin ku walal mo be niyo batora nyin ku walal andum wala ba tinna la president manya na nkel tulun kuti amanya na kele politique kuti amanya na kele sanaw kuti anyanta ajelal ko bibi ninta diamuta molbe ba fokan ne ko man salaba diamola wota nyanta hakilo tula foko motole ayanda hakilo tula in fact ba apilo min dundi kate concentrate woka animma sekunda be because ni wo keta abe soni alal look at it protestol min keta Westfield Banjul at the prison gate and then Brufut kesol min protestol min be keta anyanda krosiro tandi anyanda jero tandi la president ko he ni kes ni sudo warta bakel thank you avamle unso kil kilena say ni atara almantankala ale mantabe moliye e comme womin fata nyin case kono bi tembodo e ka abe aba al ko ko yata nyawnya bare amon fa ba ni ala to nyawo fon tuta min jele do min sang atol be modol la kiyo kisikisika ka fu kari fata le albal ko kisikisika do fane nafa in the same process wodo man sekunda manda tanko ta mandika and this bring us back to the nation's address. President's nation's address. Ninko e munda kane. I munda kanyadi the president ko Gambia is the safest and the most secure country in the sub-region. Saying ni president bekuo kela afon nala actionol ate kumo mi statement mindi ala actionable contradicta muna ata hakilo to steps to ba ko ngakuma la fo banko be kabimba banko be address ka ngakuma la foji bara say nganyim fo la fa parera bara say mi fo ba baraka minna fa ni kuma ka onye nyo jela ba anu nim faram bi nyen kam min fu fanan the same thing bena ko mo jinda dami wala ko let's be careful about this how to call the dealings of this government nga hakilo to baki amam me be no sabaka non the media bill muna mbani ku flow relate la nyame nyaji be nyam media bill o samananja wala ko media bill be min samana content creators the how to call online platforms, the radios, the TV stations, ibebe sabaka nana the same law kebe control. Ya family. Niye kumofo masakunda ya kisigezi ko nyimmi silo manta. Itolla karwala. Ibafule ya ko jinde. But say Usain Bojan in case kona jibe. Media played a very crucial role in this case. Media stimfanya barataji. But say niyo media law be caring. Ibo mol detala daming. Iba mol balla diamola daming iba mol kango detala daming ni woba tamakan ibo moy content creator wala platform it had to cover the protest among government favor ba ko yajin. All right, thank you. So gambe dingol ba kalam dal nyaadi le so where that mean ko masakunda bimba tembo min to tending adam baro abasim fa nyala taka miyan ko sayndo ni baro son no mote do kukuka Sam Barrow is preparing himself how to become a very good dictator.
Ada foundation la bella.
Ada foundation la milla ka wala nyindi ko. Na media bill dunda. Aba fo sayanga media control nole. Na Usain Bojan na nyin case. I fight ko Kenya min den immediate arrest min den Usain na ni ma bulanon. Fo Barrow succeed Usain murundi no prison. Ba ya sa ko embassy mbo suta kande. So he's becoming a very good dictator. Then when you don't be careful. I'm not going to say worst dictator, but a very good dictator. How a good dictator will be, a better assembly at your comfort zone, you don't manipulate la, you don't manipulate la, in a very civilized way that okay. So what are the Gambian on B2 Nyanda Hakilo to Latole?
Thank you.
Ninga so a chance na drunga sa abinalo la abembe but
2 minutes yes 2 minutes quickly. Okay, quickly. Brian kumufula for Jojo Nyinako because Jojo Nyinako I try to be very careful and then that statement how president is seeing the judge as an individual. That's not correct statement. That's not what president said. I was there when he was saying it.
But I have the video.
Yes, but you need to understand the context of which he made reference.
There is no context, my brother.
He was saying, he was trying to justify why appeal also is necessary for anybody who disagree with the judgment. He said, Adamadingo, is it true?
No.
The person in court.
Just say individual. Just say what the High Court delivers. What the judge delivers.
Is it a God?
It's simple.
Is it a human being?
Even if it is a human being, but such a level.
Let's not drag judges into this.
No, Judge. I just President Ladrage. Mose Mansala Diamola Moene.
No, don't make mention of judges are Molemo as a mistake. What he's saying is this: the judgment that is made is done by human being, and human being we are all bound to have a mistake, maybe. But let us go and appeal. Now the appeal court will now determine if our presentation that we made, we still believe President Jang is correct information. Do you understand? We still believe him passing Minga Muda. I think any more fake. Do you understand?
You want us to play the record for you?
Court judgment. More better son of Supreme Court, but you respect it. That is how judgment is done.
All right. Thank you.
So that's what I want.
All right. Thank you. Mane nanang kadabake iye president speech de lamoyle ay memfo usen la koro nyin kes nyendo aning alla party leader fanan ay jabile nation address o mi alonko ay woleke wa mune mo reaction oti
ko nyimbe sit la falalem wala mo court ruling nyinti anin Usenu dabola ko nyinti na party leader, so maybe mbedi amla na party leader la ko la den ngana masakunda formal towards judiciary as an organ of government. So I don't know the amka Usenu la inconsistency la that keso dol keta janne among kuma forward dural to but I never could clean a lot now. Usenu mu legal practitioner as a legal professional mate wala mala du ku follow ti ala du ku fulanya ona de ke politician oti for say ala politician du ko na ta sembo so to katambala legal profession. So na be ko jibela ni sidula fulol betul abe ko jibela le based on constitutional context banko loi bu ko le min fo al halu ni na karola abe ko fanan jibela le politico lanya fanan ba ni ajibe ni politico lanya la kabiri min case commencé ta ko Ibrahima ya fo janyami janning kisi ke case ni na ko fonto masakunda min ka diama to yala min ka Ibrahima ji sankara de ala finto ko na jumalle fonto tol foje ako ni Usenu Bojan ya min mutatenti mole mi yalon ka do ko ke birkama area council la security win duale birkama area council bi UDP be birkama area council o a UDP complicit killing fulanya ko yanko badda bu fanan na case ni ala kitu abe min kono nun ya jenu jile fanan anu ila surveillance nyim poni ke nyaada tandi la min ke Usenu Bojan a UDP complicit fula sabanya ako molmil fongo Usenu haya Usenu was very compliant that ay sambale fo hotel to molmil ye haya saba so sa ite amira Usenu Dabo as the party leader ibela party to dragla nang nya dile ka dum ku kono miya lonko bi is one of the most sensitive case molmil ya lonko bi Usenu ya de komi kumanya na kala wala min kira security personnel because security mo manya na security file even that is your last resort security mo manya na bunna kidolo roka ham na bala do ko kon so mo wol fa yetele party to ci ga ya dundi woto be dering the reason why abe dering wolem Usenu is a legal practitioner alone the case is before the courts and the courts must prove guilty in Usenu Bojan kaje komi atele participate ko to anatele party mo ni participate je ka Usenu ma koy wola den sina lon fumi UDP a participate in case kono or not barka biri nyin kitio teta jam mo nene ma mo hani UDP la alpha killing or the junior or the rank and files mi ya lon ko ya command as a witness in case kono or as a complicit in case kono wada kamunta state la first assumption that UDP le be nyin ko koma through Usenu la linking with UDP la local government officials who is false and Usenu have all right as the party leader pour kanan and katani banko belani dunia betula ya tumirol mil landin na party molkan kitio ketala annun kitio ya tandila komi hanina mo killing adom adaman dunje and I all right totally because ni moye tu minya inyende ye fon senyande anu kabirin kote Usenu nintol senyande as the members of the UDP anata ko nyinne ko tentu wala aninka ko nyin jaay komi man sakunda tu miro mil leka barnin adama kadiyam Usenu consistent Usenu moment tare nyim bankun kan kabirin fengo independence for be min consistent that and Adam Barrow is a benefactor of Usenu la consistency kabiri mol ko 3 years kabiri Usenu findita minef am ako 3 years ni banko luwa manta when things were not fashionable ngana wolto pour ka Adam Barrow defend Usain Lota I defend. You know why I won't for? I mean because of Adam Barrow as an individual, but Usain will be constitutionally defend as a constitutionalist. The reason why
yes, but another follow
no if you have proof, we will want to know. The reason why Usain ko 3 years on Nilwa Manta. Maybe Tunkara and many of others, many along be banda, some reading na to understand the constitution. Usain believe moral. What did our constitution will call GBM? According to Mansaba self income. Within that 5 years, I resigned to Kuna take me along Kamantambino to Alamantankala Kuketa. The vice president, the residue of the term, the vice president in Yentaka, Alabang. New Mantaraje at that time, the speaker in Yenta continue. So I will create. Then I come in the Adam Barrow step aside the 3 years. Aissatou Touré becomes the president of the Gambia, the 4th president of the Gambia. Who voted for Aissatou Touré? Nobody. It's because of the constitutional, lacuna Fenko Emin create, 3 years Arimino Emin create, will automatically have Aissatou Touré as the president until the residue of the term. So Atuda Aissatou Touré as an individual,
then that statement was when he was Aissatou Touré was not the VP.
Who was the VP?
It was Tambajan that was VP.
No. Yes. Tambajan it was not Tambajan.
Hussein was not defending Barrow when Barrow.
Oh, come on. You can't longer 3 years or Hussein is a constitutional focus. I mean, this is a constitutional clause, 65(2).
He said it when he was a VP of foreign minister.
What?
He defended the Barrow's 5 years when he was VP of foreign.
No,
not the.
I bet 3 years it's a constitutional clause that Niata Barobota Nunji. 3 years arrangement was Nimborobota J. I didn't step aside and attack a refail. But constitutional cartel Nimborobota that material time more than president.
Then they would do
the arrangement Mantara Nunji come more than the Talaka refail and Yami. Come BCD, Ninta president, Interboda constitutional.
The law is very clear. Within 3 months, we election.
Akamunde Kenyan Dandel Tamu complete. It atudete le bulsang because constitutionally you are the president of the Republic of the Gambia. Atudete le bulo kono kafonga electional or not. So your family. So there's a double trouble me along with that we are going to be challenged with. And Usenu Lotala I work for Kabiring is not fashionable. Molia Jale wala because of they don't want to go and read. So no Adamaka Usenu inconsistency for in legal profession. Udom Kulet me along is not grateful. Because Kabira Tata Nata defend. And Kabiring betunga Usenu la trials de ning struggle kono kabiri ya jemel jamano fobi atina tata kasola manyami ketala kaso kono ay wol betu fol mo jelle borri tata asylum mol sik jam be sirim bantala bankol. Usenu was one of the heated opposition leader me alone ko namba manta jam people want to know mimbiji mo dol tata asylum mo ni jam nobody knows them in the country come be struggle nyim kono. Usenu nala fla asylum mo he's out of this country. But there is no point in time, all these 22 years, that you can say anything about asylum more than 6 months or so. So, needed the work care for can come beside the worker care. What I come it Tilonia Betilo Leka for Nimu Carolti. And Radaman and the Kebala Walla resign. I be for Laka Usenu Kakumul farm a million long more camera political statement.
Usenu, I think it's not a political statement.
Among Kati. Because Usenu Hanala Molia Kuma Jawel for Adamama, I can feel like position on Nimba Bulo Kono Banko Kang, Imagine Kuma Jawel farm. Ya family, Abuka Adama GB as an individual, Bada Adamatin. But like a Bunyamin telling a lady from the Hand State of the Nation address, I give an Bunyamin Tingal, Adama Botokum to Fokama, in some Munambulo Kulems, Ilabadi Koto and Sina Long Komi, Msa step aside. We don't let me baffle and didn't know of Lente Fiala side. But in Aka show the presidency in her respect of the so Adam Manyantalo Usenu 1, Alifale mi siatati, but secondly, more than me along over 200,000 Gambians will not entrust with a vote in the past election. What more them abu more than Yaton Kanika.
Acknowledge
what?
Ala Kebaya.
I will acknowledge because Ako Alifa Kalafi Puruka Alifa Yanta Mole Solano. I Keba Keba. But I graduate the phone sabe kumu. No, I Keba. No, you have a Keba. Because Dalilo meaning into follow what the Maro President Moro will do mole. It's on the wall. You can't have media because Doya. You understand? I want to come in.
Munefu.
And you go and say,
You don't read the Usain. You don't
no. Yeah, no, Usain accused le. Yeah, accused le ma proof no hanise. And secondly, borrow from
Usain Dabo.
No, Usain Dabo lem. Te ben the party leader la follow.
Yeah, they accused.
Ndamina. Fe man na party commande komi be case ni konon. Fe ma fo komi nyimbe do ko la nung na party la do ko la le. Ya family. Wo be to abe daring a left la loi ya la silo tamani. Loi la silo tamani loi fanam pareta another ku fula sute ko nyun kon. As a legal practitioner, I just come they do gross violation of the rights of Usainu Bojang, the accused. Ani kalua fana muta kalua fana tinya nyala mi alonko ay manye na tarla deri. Wala tin adiamda ni luala karo bala adiamuta ni political participation fana na karo la kumi na party ya mufo ani bimin nyata findi. So ni adama ta kuma follow no Usainu ma asawosa lo na amamin. Anda wanyende fonyo katara political platform one net. But ni ada follow nyongo jibe minkata di in state ning Usainu Bojang na case ni. Judiciary should be independent because this is why for doctrine of separation of powers and checks and balances. Executive alone is not the government. Judiciary and National Assembly as per the Constitution so that we can say Masakunda bitakukan. But in that lafla ka simulo nin judiciary ko nyinna be kala ate asimulo wolkan. Wala akamunda sa intending Adama is curtailing government as a whole.
That is not what is happening.
Government as a whole pour ka module kaje ko mi ate lafla minna woyke. Because nada ngajele ko is it emoje kemeseng million ko isafero ke kumi they are disappointed. They are disappointed. But it is disappointed and they don't go on to explain the reason why they are disappointed.
They explain. That's why they said they are appealing.
No, Ministry of Justice.
Yes, that's what they said they were appeal.
Honey, well, no, Adam Alebo for
No.
They are disappointed.
MOJ already said that before.
That
they came with a statement that they will appeal.
MOJ will appeal.
Of course.
They already even filed.
They've already filed.
Okay.
So through Adam.
At Justice Judge's case, so they rely on 7 grounds of appeal. Okay. That the 7 grounds they are dissatisfied with the decision of Justice Judge. So they bring out 7 points that they are dissatisfied, and the judge has error in law, and they think that he didn't evaluate the evidence that were presented. So there are 7 grounds of their appeal that the Court of Appeal will look at.
Exactly. Okay.
That's very
so yagele. Ni obe keri ngana. Adam be jani over 2 years 6 months. Sidi on the funding ke be bulo kon. 2 years 6 months imang evidence soto no ibe umare mutal no minna for high court ya judge ke komi kaje komi nyim funding ke man fenke. Hani sa state with the another infrastructure, intelligence infrastructure betu. State is not able to prove Usainu Bojang guilty. Oto sa mu new evidence le be bulo kono koteke mimbate ne ba fale kata appeal le. Because 2 years woman ke saji dandan de bol pour yeba mo trial as the state na kuno be bulo kono intelligence structure be bulo kono you are unable to convict this boy for this case. For bulata wato minne you want to show another interest ka for la fala ka appeal. Mune be bul sa min table no kono. Ila fala ka ni for la ni
drafters of our constitution envisage there could be error in judgment, there could be error in evaluation of evidence, there could be error in delivering a judgment. That is why they said they have appeal court. That is why they have a Supreme Court. Even Supreme Court can review its decision. So these are the things that are very clear.
All right. Thank you so much, Mani. Bitawa face straight. Kexx kandrong nga kacha soro jandim ben topic flanyo discourse la. Follow. Mr. Sanneh nga president statement o moyle ni nga tara ila faka diamo je fannala janing kadum interview proper kono. You can have your opinion about the president's statement ala speed meng ayake so mitatil dan tankono for any reaction also about Barola's speech.
Yeah, Tonya Alan, Qualia for America, Albea for America, Ninkiti or Faband, Janabek, Luaman Sembedi Mola Premier Apology. But not at a Fabanda, you can analyze it, citizens, or whether you agree or disagree with the decision. Omumubel and Yantolet, Mansakunda Fane Yanto Soto. Section 200 and something of the criminal code here in Tandilapo. If you are dissatisfied with any decision of a lower court, you can go to the upper court, appeal. So, but president is not just an individual. not a diameter. The weight I can carry in the diameter as an ordinary person is totally different. And you have an institution called the ministry who is prosecuting, AG Chambers. They already shown their interest, even at the floor of the court having judgment or delivered, that they have an intention to appeal. So no caring, I think, as a president, allow that process to flow rather than accusing, because Yemen for UDP has the right, because they were actually accused or being associated with the accused person at the initial stage, because near Sankaral's statement more that number one, Hussein was a member of United Democracy Party. He works at Brikama Area Council. So these allegations, Milalanko, is linked to a political party. So if the political party decided, because of they understand that since it's a legal issue, we cannot comment why the case is going on, that will be untenuous in terms of interfering with the judicial process. For Banta, they have an opinion to hold a press conference or to say that, okay, after all the trial, after 2 years, there is no single person, to say that, okay, you said that this guy was a UDP member, and this is what has been proved in the court. He has a membership of UDP, because if you say that I'm a member of an organization, you must either see me in one of their activities or a membership to show my affiliation with the party. So Nemo also has the Secretary General of the party. I think he's the better person to speak on behalf of the party on those issues. So if Dabo Findit and Iovo, that means that it's now telling the whole world that after everything, the court didn't see that UDP, this guy was a member, so that he distanced the party from it. This is a serious allegation. This is dealing with the murder of 2 police officers. So it's good for the party to come with their position. But if the president goes, now you are also creating an allegation. And a president should not just allege, because you have the machineries that you can rely on to investigate anybody that you suspect, even based on suspicion. So if you believe that lawyer Dabo, I bulo Sorojele, you cannot just go ask your security apparatus or the Minister of Justice that do an investigation, or the police do or the Inspector General do an investigation. But Nina your tone has a president, assemble about like an ordinary person. So that was an unfortunate situation from the president. He has the machineries that he can rely on to do their investigation. If they feel that Dabo Bulono, because Niaja Ami Bojan Dabo and the case corner, they believe that Kabulo not a jail. Because Ami Bon Kidita Afai, but what they believe that Ami has assisted in the process of these alleged killings. So near Ami Muraje, so you believe that Dabo Fana Bulo not a jail, then take the legal routes. But Nina Ranana, you are not actually, you are creating back and forward between 2 political parties. So the party will come and defend themselves. So after listening to Dabo Lamoy, I didn't say he was just analyzing Kantandilako. You allege my party, but not Ajako. Whole the trial, there is no single person. All the 13 witnesses that you brought before the court testify. Nobody even mentioned the word UDP. So for the even Mel found in their press conference, the Chankares, Kabiri Nathan, and they even said little more when they were recalled to come and testify. Because Dabo
and they were
superior them to come and testify. Even though state may come, but he superior both of them, the Deputy Inspector General for Jeng and Sankar. But they said they never said that he was a until when the video was played before the open court, and that were footage from Kerfado and West Coast, were played in the court. So it was clear that they said so. So no Keda, and those who even said that now run away from I think that so if Dabo then has the right as a political party to come and stand on their ground. So it is so unfortunate that you should open, but everybody, like he said, they have the right to appeal, and we should also respect that. Luai, anybody, and even Hussein Ufang, another even the way they call Alaman Tankaranu, they convict him, he would have appealed. His lawyer could have said that, okay, we are not satisfied with the judgment of Justice Jaite, and we will appeal. But what happens in appeal court, there is no new evidence that is imagined. So what will happen in the court of appeal is that you take all the record of proceedings. Correct. They will ask for it to be typed. Whatever happens, every single word will be typed and brought before the court of appeals. So they will look at the grounds of your appeal. What did you say? So okay, state la ground of appeal GBA the issue of the alibi yalan justice area and the loi alibi wala ko sana be ker fatule but mo nde kontamanta ker fatu ndebe non ton table to MC sembe sire no world so no sabaka but mo donata ya sede ya konte be world once that alibi established man sakunda nyaa nda ko investigate so ba ñu ko tel mo investigate ko because mi nekada wo alibi findi daw mato men wato case startal fo nyaato len useno nata ko makaw nyum fo so wata no be kitio nyin tema so whatever so ko the jojo ni error ta wala ka fo ko the alibi ni arrest why they didn't investigate because already they are already in the trial. So now the Court of Appeal will look at that, when did the alibi was raised. So whether Justice Jada has an error there in terms of the. So in terms of the terrorist confession, useni confession untele mofa. So lua ni nafoko ni more confessed in terms of killing yanta kamene video record Kalondi has an evidence ni mo be confession okada ke nyanta ka fa low your camera ta you so that you have it in records. So since woman so you ko bay o establish so ni fa kuma ka da confessed wala nyama so man sakunda be wala jibele that 7 points will melan ko state wala risk and that's what they disagree, but there will be no new evidence or new witness that is coming on. So ni mo sa wala sila because Court of Appeal Judge Sabale ka sija buka ke mo kilindi. So you just sabol besila wala ya jibe based on the records men happened for George only he error in law another do moment traje sign whether the evidence will come from how did he evaluate them states all points will mel raise ni aje ko be kono je femma ti menti nyata they will now still maintain the decision of Justice Jed on ni aje ko fembi je melan ko ba kele ba ndele la ko definitely he error in law and useno like anyanta ka luwa anyanta ka butel ka state la last request to me and wala nyinte ko jojo ni mistake la ndugu sen nyanta ka sentence la according to the charges. So wala bije so say for more see but work 30 days le dira ba ngaje before 30 days state went and file it so wala membe kere
so wajuri so aka jam fale bang fa bu ko jam.
No, it depends on how bulky is the record of proceedings so that they will go through it and they all make their position. So tell most about bekela judgment okay so yalan so ni mo fula benta kilindo man ben so the majority carry ni mo kilin fana sonta but indo man so always the majority will carry in terms of the decision on it. So wado do isaje disagree wado bije base agree no in one decision so ka ni rata Court of Appeal so isa fe ko ni njonyin asentale o man agree but ni mo fulol be agree talo so obega keno but always majority carry the vote. But still now even after the Court of Appeal and state feel like they are still dissatisfied, they can go to the Supreme Court and seek for again. So Supreme Court Judge Lou Lebe Sila word. So final ba jibe la ko even Supreme Court ratified decision ota ko dege hansa ni mom they can still now ask the Supreme Court to review its judgment more 7 Lebe Sila instead of more 5. So it's a process and we be legal la right led and we should not question them whether they want to do that or not. Womo ila right ninko a rule of law and a democracy follow. So these are the tendency melanko it's created by the law because they believe that mistake also can or call can. This is the situation. But it will finally mistake okay dama wala nyinte ko finally loi eman bu loi bunya because ni nara jibe kabin kiti oteta sign kiti obota kiti tela bu Justice Jade kabi wado mena belo tada fadunda sign there's another department in the high courts melan ko ka for the sheriff division melan ko ni belo tada fo e mobile e kada wolto ela belo fulfill and they went and secure your release. So useno tada la belo mutala be fulfill kabi Justice Jade yaf. So belief tada jana mile to purka mutana and then release order tada mile to purka hand over to these people. So kabada fura jadi mile to la rek mile to ya accept ya sign. Now ya hand over bul rek sign among tra police la marabul among tra mansakunda be court la maralo la bul. But ba yo mano fana nyanta ka report le back to the high court ka usinu sambaje usinu nyanta ka fenne sign. So that process nying wo interfere and luwa nyina fo ka antande man sakunda do kula nyanta ka court my barental la gambe jan nita other parts of the world court e fansum police or so melan ko they are not even answerable to the state apparatus. Exactly. So tell me those people enforce ni bida arrest but until la jang we rely on the security apparatus melan ko be under the executive but we have an IGP who is appointed by the president. So they rely on the state. So wala na constitutional savage every agency of the state should help the judiciary to execute their jobs. So but ite manyana kataka nda nyanda ko mano bulal 5 footer high court I report to the sheriff kandandala ko ngay na belo be fulfill na step outside from the court wata sign you finally are released the kandan say found muitad they can arrest him near after but now they adhere to the rules of the high court. But neo correct that means that you the custodians of the law so okay do you expect the citizens to respect the law because you the custodians of the law should first set the sample then you can now ask people to respect the law. So but nemo correct then that means that we are encouraging a republic of a jungle whereby momosi will no lelu ake bulo. So what kind of fortunate situation but for me I believe that UDP has a right to clear their names. Okay. And the president Atamanke just an ordinary person let him allow if he feels that they are still dissatisfied and they think that Hussein is still the killer let them pursue the legal way but not the grounds of political grounds because it's beyond politics. So and this whole case should be beyond politics. All right,
thank you.
Injunction on injunction the purported injunction that they say was it given to them by court or what?
But the more
in Ngajoko police they have filed injunction.
they stay of motion, stay of Fonko.
Execution.
They have filed a motion, have stay of execution of the release. Fonko. But the other can stay me alanko. It has never execute. Niko stay a process Benjamin. Eka wala kenyenko. Eka stay mutale ya file. Near file Jojo Nyantaka Sila or other party solo because it's an ex party motion. So ex party you hear from the one party. So wala nyendeko ex party and so Jojo Baji will fonye ex party. There is an urgency of it broadcast. So for example, science and then you saba koda la tende ndeko ne ndunda koda kono mbafala you fana ko ne ndunda koda kono mbafala. So you file a motion so that there will be a stay that all of us would stay away from that compound until it is fully determined. So okay, how do you come? Kanaku.
So Jumale udila.
State level file.
Okay, but
Jojo ma grant because a force anyanda ka grant le na grant ya samba the sheriff division ya ka ko atonyala yenyumbula lu abantel fana le fenne file ndum code file sa grant. So it was Rosin de la Mile to Cantandela already stake it. So I'll can Nimbula science because court ya grant.
So it is a file drone. So can I say? So Civil Department in Cabrin in data prison Fenco administration on Impurka release bond in Anje. So I didn't move Civil Department. So poor I fen sign J, poor Satara from Blue, but we interfere. So for when the Kilatilo you phone like on a bank, come here and the prison official into the I have phone clear and that particular day I am running Sheriff Department pour I was send the national function of.
Yes, so I am near a grand bill before the bill will fulfill. Still now, and Nima fulfill are still under the custody because Usain coming kid your band at mile 2 years somebody. The prisoners took him back to mile 2 because Fender to the Yemen Mamba. The force in Bano a free person completely. Well, in the by the state could be appeal okay. So do not application of Usain continue kamuta for janital bela appeal file. Or just jada na afoko lami jeda bo wulta kaya ndandela ko this man femanta la nga ko kan ko take bari kiti ya bulale nyin tumi romen na lata kan o da nyanda ka bani state appeal sort of an they can continue with the appeal but manya kala government freedom of movement because it's a constitutional requirement kaya ndandela ko you cannot deprive anybody nata femanta tumi requirement. So Kamala Jojo fana agree with that one. But I go buy the abula, buy the member for asabula 50,000 la, and then government so take the member guarantee. But na board will so do nota. So kabio ka wadaman. So condition only process le bije menya ndaka. O mari nyanda kala ID card na landis a sheriff division oro. Ay bail bonus safe ka antandila ko ba safe la kanda to nyata etre usenu bail ya bail ni amount le. In the event usenu manna na board etele ba duno sikal nin sorondil be kala je ni ki dota fatete be tel soron nin busa da be kala je boka so ka fennet mi alan ko so ko be accept de mari fon ya sign ni ya sign fo parete yela ID card o fana tuji den o kaydo nyin say wala be tala ka fo mena ko release o kanda la bail fulfill that sheriff division ya sign ya fo sign samba mile to their record ka antandila ko nyin ala bail be fulfill sa nyanta ka bula. So na mari fana bula dana usenu nyanta kanale fo sheriff division ka antandila ko nsonta pour nyi yem bail e bo kaydo fana antandila ya sign ko ha sontala. So the process only will interfere. So say usen la finto mal to bunda to ata singolo sabe bele bulo kono. So mo code la do bula code la say amanta mansabul. Nyanda ka bulal 5 footer code I will sign. Na sign ba fala say you are a free pass la family fe. So na findi da banta. Ni aka do banta code la process.
I think it's what he said. It's making sense. It's making sense. Law mesiata. Yeah. In as much as you want police ka mo mudale. Ya wala sa. Ika mo bulale ye fudu duro ye muda. But I mean for they should have allowed him to come back to his house. Court. Sirifu ya fa sign kan ni paretale. After the court get there, Ali Baraket keje, Ali Amuta. But then Mutaro, you cannot take him to mile 2. You can take him to police headquarters.
Very good.
Until you get another order again to mile 2.
Alright.
So
Alright. Mina Kexx Sanneh.
Yeah, that was a serious breach of
Doctor, to first topic of momenti wala barola statement o ay menke somita ako still they believe ko Usenu is responsible and also lawyer Usenu Dabo Jabile our itan DJ Franco his hands are not clean mune bula reaction of fanna.
It's unfortunate, right? One is Sizo Muda fire buyi bulo. I was for. So one Sizo Muda fire buyi bulo. I was accuse them. It's not allegation. It's a question that is asking them. So what are the because of law interest? The foreign will hand sign it. You know, that is the point. So that's not really serious or
What is President Barrow akamunta ko aka nyinkul enjoy le. Yeah, that's how I see it, because it can't be all the time a mistake also. But I think afonka enjoy le. He aka political ti aka come kacharang neti.
You did respond.
Yes, we knew that. Otherwise, he has said a lot of things. It's not presidential can you crucify ke wala can you kufal for. But and I always say it, you know, campe, you know, so many campe is something else. But whatever mean campe. He likes to talk and chat and so on, you know. So I think sometimes he does not know, or not intentionally, sir. He goes beyond the line of presidential and he wants to joke and so on about it. But you don't, it's very grave. A full political party leader, it's big. Honestly, it's just big. But I think also sometimes he does it to maneuver. You see, he wants people to move attention. That's the truth. The attention that he wants us to move away from is the significant question of Jumanyo le police on Yilfa. That is the main thing that everyone should be asking. Because when we keep asking that, we are helping and fulfilling our rights as citizens. Because luale ko nga sembo sotole pu ka banko dada ka constitution on yin defend. Nin ku keta mo la wala ku la ta mo la, especially in the line of duty, like police officers. Wala na mani police we mo bindika. Image police oti bare luaye nyinin kale ya makoy. Image na gele police be mo mutaka mo ba kele ndike yellow no. Luwa ko nyanta ka police o mako ele. Luwa ko men nyanta ka kanta wala ntolti. Police on wall ye regiment li ye jo bagen tol be mu police leti. So luwa kanto aninka luwa mako bela do quality. Baga sotala dita melna ni wal ma non si nyanta ki mako ele. So woto nyimu kulti me ya long ntol se mako ko keno nya wala ka nyinin ka go ke. Bare ni mala fo nyinin ka gal fo nyin kuma si fal fena. So it's unfortunate the president should have not said that. And he's continuing to do a lot of things and he's saying some of these things, but amanya na okela. Plus, right now, the tension is high. Political, ndunta konole. So, kanyin kusifal ke among, it's not healthy. Among healthy. You know, NMF is very, very authoritative. If you are not sure, still, that's a way. Follow the due process. But you will follow. At the end of the day, if you offer men sort of gay, or what, okay, luan is luning, no matter. But in other fango kanyin kuno si far for. Then you have open floodgates for each and everyone, also even ordinary citizens, to say. So what about if I say nte fango malanga nte lata mena wale bago fango adabe nyinko konole. Ate mansekelti baga ate ko ate lata fena na la manzakunda. Luwa fana mamobale nyimbankun kang aning grupo wala kompino pour wole la elata mena. So so you don't have to open those floodgates because it's not healthy for our country and so on. And you'll be mukebality, you know. So amanjarika nying mola sunu because right now, what happens to Melia along wale dingal fata? They have no answer. So obey mukulti me alanyanda ka give and the Ghana I mean the other thing is right now, I think MPP call Nyantaka for President Barrow ko. Nyinko, I mean is wrong. But again, there is another looming crisis. Albert told Tala Linyi Motol, Fair Roman Soto. But I be caring. Alangin to Yantaka limitless sign. Government law coupono ninkudol, now give him bodun lanyamemba. Paske the problem is coming. And Tomang fuel sotan or whatever. So all these stores unnecessary travel and so on at this moment, I can't stop like. Throughout our government machinery. We are laying foundation stones. One person that can be symbolically that can be laid. No, ministering could directly 200 plus kilometers of routes. So that is it. But coming to the issue of Kexx Sanneh explained.
if that is what you were asked as your final question. You see, I sometimes wonder why these people are so greedy up to now, the government. Yes, if this were in 2016, you can understand how many years, you're under whatever. So sometimes you are not only angry, but you are hungry, so you can have these missteps. But 8 years you are enjoying.
Enjoy what? Governing.
That's enjoy. Governance in Africa is enjoyment now.
No, that's the truth. Governing.
That's the truth. Governance in Africa is not serving people, it's serving yourself, largely.
How?
75% of it. So, don't disturb me. So what Kexx is saying is, look, you have an attorney general. You have all the things that Gambians have paid for you to be properly advised. Yet you are failing it. So look, if they had waited based on Mele Lua for Yafonya maintain, maybe we wouldn't have this issue of it is illegal, it is this, it is that. But because they are in a haste to prove a point, and usually we come on political hamola sidely. Politically, they are greedy to score a point. So ni ihabuta ike fanjani kinotole wala akamagane. So habo nyanta wala bulala sign because sign 8 years, 9 years, 10 years nyanta ka bulale you kuo noma nyanta normal nyame. But I can tell you for a fact, this wall alamada da affair kama. Ninkuo men ni silo manta ise intelligent nyaonya alaka fenkol fe nanjele. You don't see. If I were the government, it's within their right. I am going to see another alternative to settle this. We forge ahead as a country. Because already, hani intermemang luaka wala security kran, common sense benale, logic benale. So come on, you can win at the court, but people still don't have the trust, the confidence called Nina. So it doesn't make sense. It will still stain you. Let them seek alternatives other than appeal this because election year for Fanakono. Even you'll be it can spark a lot of unnecessary things. So right now, yes, Sonko, Kiti don't ketale igayeta, Kiti don't keta iboitale. Let them see how they go around this, especially the family and lost one only. Ya gibe ina iwe call kele and make sure they move on. It is also not honest on the side of the government to even respond to UDP. What they should respond to is the lapses that still exist in our security. Still, we have said it and we will keep saying it. You can kill a police officer and nobody can know that you are the one if you kill the police officer. On duty, come here at the table. For the table. So to the law in Yame, say like nothing will happen. It's a final keno. Ala niwe muta ya dile house keno. So nyanda ka concentrate wole ka nyanda ka wole fono gambeno ko nyin ketale. Ko ndate woto nte diamla woto woli ala nyame no problem bare. Mfana na mansa kundanga nyine dundi nga nyine wale dundi nga nyine kenga nyine ke ka make so nyin sifane ne kana soto no na soto fana amadi ne kiti fanti jemba mutalale kulbe tagiyala. You see, it's waste of state resources. This investigation and everything, ning camera kilimbi yenu. They could have known everything that happened and then that is it.
All right.
No waste of time. So this is the situation. I advise that let them look for other ways. Maybe a family compensate law and so on. And that is, but even if they go to court, all of the public opinion is against them. Because of a lot of missteps, including, for your science and tech. You don't respect separation of powers. You don't even respect the law. I don't know whether you have talked about it, but to add, they think I'm harsh, but no, I want things to be clear. What is kulubalia in if you to translate it in English? Indiscipline, non-adherence to law, non-compliance. Now, for example, Gita had said kulubalia in his statement.
That's our second topic, but you can go ahead.
Okay, we can wait for that then.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, so what I'm trying to explain is, look, dil nyimbankunkan hani dinoto sariyale biye ni sariyabula ikulu waliyadale ni sariyabula ikulu waliyadale ni that school iko a token a man token that's indiscipline to once So ni mansa kunda according to IMM 14 loi be lande comme okay president yanta malatene police yanta malatene yo bula e kulu bali alake biko loi bi ke kulu wala ne ka fo asam asata kiti moto pour discipline is loi ya kulu wolem okay silo bula silo na silo kan so nin Gambia no Gambia be police o ma koy kan pour ay sumo muta o Gambia no loi respect le bara ni ma koy iman loi nyi respect so di mon funti ta ka fa ko ale loi boyle ni loi do mun tol be kanolti ita fono la wolbe kulubali yalla ite be manson ite le be kulubali yalla wolem discipline wala na loi sotota ka kulu woke
so jide ay police will command to stand on their grounds, in fact to use force if necessary.
Yes, if you don't know Gide, then it's a problem for you. Gide seniored me. He left news that I was in. So I know him very well. I served under Mr. Bojang in his office for more than a year. Not only teaching, I'll teach and come back. So Gide meets me there. I know him. He seniored me and knows that. So I know, and I know a lot of history about him. You see, Sidi, some of these people should be grateful. Maybe Lamin from a national scholarship soto. In Bansunane Manjoki, Praika. Me, you go to any record, you know, see a Blabojan government scholarship, you know, see it. I'm not that I don't deserve it, I deserve it. Jamal Lasson, I'm telling you. So, me, it a Mansakunda wola, Mansakunda apparatus, wola jikoyate, for ike kuku deal, yelondo soto. It a man Gamben all tend to for ike neng. That's the highest of whatever it is. So, some of us know who this guy is. He may not know because I tell you at Banden Toldunda. So I can have class from time to time, I can mold Marco and so on. I can have Mr. Bojang, you know, we know a lot of things happen. Gita kataya jamala komboyo moto koma abe reporting na giakes. We all know how these things happen. And we have relatives that we are working directly at the state house at the time. So we know mo bukala jiko falling. Membije wolem first ning ayata loi boy lalem moti jeme loi boy katambi gitela because bu food be sono ginde Gambia no be sono ginde. You don't do that. Now man dia you have your right. You're a politician. Member checking la party la man dia. Yes, you can reserve yourself or you comment in a nice way. But nendigo ning ka police ol fenke wotiji. Pro aba sembo soto. Mota nyim banku ka me sembo soto ka fo police ol nyanda ka menke. Atije hani ba ko ma sembo soto. Because luale bije me ya police ol before iten inte na nyim banku kan. In ibe nyine kala iten nyin kala. Woto ni te ka ko ikafe ka fo police ol ibe ifate tele. Because woman kila do kuti. Wo bigele Gambia no wo kigele already. Ila opinion is afono. But you should not. And that is why I try to pumoli along. Yalo ne de ba kanyo hakilo bele ko. Ni amo kulu bali wole luwa noma baliati. Wole kulu baliati. Luwa noma balia wole kulu baliati. Who is Gite to tell the police what to do? Especially if it is not based on law. Those police yalo ne kamenke. Inyenta kalon hani malong. So if you are against whatever that happens in Farato or so, it's fine. Or Bullfoot. But please, some of this man okay. And some of these people come now for Nyame. Gambeno leke imumenti.
Alright.
So
Thank you.
let's be careful as young people.
Okay.
Niman Sulamena Imalafala don't make certain negative comments.
Alright.
But then I only do so fata gele, I understand. And then, you know, more pabe indol batata gele and so on. And in fact, in attendance, don't be gele media is a different wulu. So you don't do that. You don't.
All right, thank you. Thank you. Mina panel so kan nyaro demanding ali alla opinion odi alla reaction odi about GT. But Jani Wodrong ngana Kexx kan. Kexx ngajele kibar talala muti mi alonko eka kibarol di nanata baba bake nanata ka court la fanala kiti la fanala andum mosa fofang kibar bundate nyim banko kanjang mi alonko hana bejang amon fula sabasi men yalonko ibuka sembe ila kibarola men yalonko iko ledi ni tata nyim kiti bongolto ka kiti wol taji membe den kiti wol men yalonko wol bita kanje ika mune feel ni kibar bundalje ibe Kexx la kibaro takang iba janjang kang ila kibar bundal to tarim nying ka mune feeling ite
tonyalere ko nde me ndundi nyun kono den na mamira ko fam maybe be nyin kala but out of passion Kabirin 2017 nga election or win na party members will tata parliament. So I feel that there was a gap between the party in terms of amplifying the message of the party. So I take the role of a media person to amplify the voice. So I always speak up and contribute to the parliament. I make sure that it's so the public space so that they know the party can contribute. So for Yakuma president case came up when Yakuma. So since I was close to the parliament, so Birakan Court I go with them. So the first day I went there and I start writing. So we file rule sign the argument on and everything. So Kabina post people appreciate because in take a report like you are there. Vavati kind and like on to or so people then no comment soldiers feel like people appreciate what I was doing. So continue our case, the 4 case judgment on Intada for Banta. So then Parliament Yajako, it was necessary for them to have what we call their own cameras so that they will stream, because by then taking the telephone all I think I was the first person to stream Parliament live. So they feel like they have their own cameras now, they want to stream. So Kabinga Yajako that placing Zava Fatal, because the objective is for the people to know that what is happening in our Parliament, because it's very, very important. So Kabioganko then the objective is achieved. Let me move to an area I feel like it's still dominant and I think I can actually contribute there. So I continue doing this. One day I pass on for this because what I believe is that when people are informed, when the citizens are informed, they make an informed choice. So dissemination of information becomes passion to me. So, but the wider it goes, I like it. So, and I sometimes even confront people when they attack people, why you are taken from this guy, you don't take. For me, that's not important. What is important is the message to people to know what is happening in their country, what are their representatives doing on their behalf, because we are all electorates and people that we put into office, they are there to render service for us. By the constituency more killing tombo. To speak on your behalf, to act on your behalf. Likewise, ministers all, because we appoint presidents. Go President Banko Felebula here, select people to go and represent us. So the Fanfen Keka is on behalf of us, likewise the judiciary and everything. So I don't feel message of the and I'm very happy the more it's go out, the better it is. For me it doesn't matter. I'm not much bothered with whether you give me the credit or not, because originally it comes from me. So whether you give credit is not that much. Well, people went up to, some even came to me to have a website whereby nobody will even copy what I do. But I said no, I'm at the end of the day, maybe do can't follow. Will be milk and follow. So neither somebody then your followers, you are taking the message to those people. So for me, that's the most important thing. But I now develop a passion because this is an area me alonko. More bugalon take a more Canada and code. They don't even understand. But now with the little things that we are doing, people understand. By then people doesn't know all those things. So the kajako and singing ken or luate lipala. But kujamalvije milanko. Some people are understanding that and what am the objective today. And we feel very grateful that the public fana, because like encouragement on one them fana. Every day I post them encourage you, but the public also encourage us all the time. All can reach out messengers. So we really appreciate what you are doing. So can encourage the like at least what I'm doing is impact. Now my impact will not continue. So we are so grateful. But more better to that any media house me is part of dissemination of the information. We are so grateful that the message is going. That's the whole objective.
Court report mu feneti mi alonko among easy aka sula kibar senengol la mi alonko molba moyla andu molba fahamu la fana. And ko kurundin je bete aka soto jele kole akul fana ka soto jele what are some of the challenges me alonko iya taki nanata court report na and you overcome nyadi?
Yeah, number one first ko kole abata maybe sign from maybe they are going into technology, but the last it was not technology. Oral so you sit down there. Sometimes they will be a voice, they are not on top of their voice. Because you want to report back to the people. I'm not here for you. So those were challenges either part of the lawyer or Jojo from sometimes, he's not on or he's not on top of her voice and you want to capture because near Miss Court you can be charged for contempt because court be well. So where challenges now they have developed this mic systems there at least can amplify the voice of people. But we also have a challenge of in terms of sometimes you go to a judge, you want a judgment, and then you are not a party to this and I will not say a judgment until access to information act natana all of my market sometimes we have opportunities to actually have those things in place. But also fana, in terms of between the relationship between the judiciary and the media, I think still now there should be more collaboration in terms of training people, because court movement is sensitive and I have found some Kangole sort of different from other languages. So if you don't know English, for court law, it means another thing. Likewise, to be the so you need to train people, and I think Judicial should develop that interest between them and the GPU. Journalists will train in terms of some of this press union, so that they will, because even 2 weeks back from one of our journalists Lafaka charged them for contempt. We need to interfere because I'm understanding it's a new journalist. So by the way, you can training correct, they understand certain things will be, because sometimes state will file what we call a plea bargain. So that no more far. Wala kuke, but altara je ali nyo negotiate wala kuba kada je ye negotiation okay, like men kada non sukuta me abama sorom bon kona dimba malaka, and in that case you free tale. But people don't understand, journalists will, because they don't understand there's a plea bargain what can be happen. So other state like dani can then tell dingo I can tell like yam fatale say dingo la nakano. So state now remove the charge of attempted murder, kind and like bodily harm or something like that, or destruction of property. So but when the judgment that guy was free, journalists will understand they went and write that cause somebody who is accused of murder and arson has been free, and Luai falling more accused of arson or murder is a life imprisonment. So but well malam there was a plea bargain, but nin karaw kedal tema e bayela ko ba understand la ko case odo sikeno fengo malam ko is life imprisonment or sentence to death, but there can be a plea bargain from the state, and false will be understand. So all those few things are challenges we do have with them sometimes, but apart from that there is a cordial relationship that we are now building. I think they also see that media is amplifying, because they want you to cover their cases, because of the public interest and people how they have interest in our judicial system, and it's helped us.
Cases will be a high profile case lady. Eka ensure nyadi le pour impartiality ay taraje tilimo ay taraje nanata nyin case wala ke report eka nyin ensure nyadi.
No, along is important. Journalists or anybody member report, you have to remove yourself from the news. What you are there is to inform the people what happens. But the moment you fanke kibaro nyen konorek, yes, we are all human beings. Sometimes we get emotions, and we have people that we are close. Gambia is so interconnected. But neither kiti bongono know that actually kiti bongono men to make sure that what transpire in the court or whatever you are. So you make sure that ye fambondi kiti nyokono, even though you have those personal interests. Sometimes it do happens like a very very close friend. Na case totally. I refuse not to go. I send somebody to go and cover the case, because maybe if I go there are certain things if it is incriminated I might not say it. But that was but sometimes like in the trial of Bob, I was very close to Bob. But whatever was said when it was in the time of the state, I have said everything. But when at another time, unfortunately, we didn't get the opportunity to testify because they went and do the deal. Since the results came, then everything finished. So I removed myself from the case to make sure that I report accordingly. And I don't want maybe court. Sometimes you come more court, a paraphrase. They come and attack you, imam paraphrase. So that's why most of the time, critical bada. If you look at the cases that are very, very critical, I just report them. The complaint is too long, but I know the reason why I'm not. So everything that you said, I want you to bring it. So it happens to me, and one of the lawyers was not happy, and he went to the court to report that what I report was wrong. So court went and played the record, because signed the record, the proceedings, and after this. So I play before everybody, and I was going through whatever I was going through. He definitely statement of GB, there is nothing. But hadn't been that was not there, or paraphrase, he could say that, okay, I'm bondage for. So it's always mindful, because loyal fanal ka damal ka to because they feel like they want to prove a point. So the man remember report, you need to be very, very mindful in terms of Nima understand. So that's one thing I don't rely on a third party in third court. I don't want, I either go to the court now for the record. Let me go through an audio audio ta, even it will take me 3 days to transcribe the audio. Because sometimes you never know. Don't you realize the now, you buy line BJ, it becomes your property.
Yeah.
So it from bundle and OJ. So always will do me challenging so let me learn we normally have it. And like the incident that happens in Berikama between me and the other judge too, or personal issues sort of or misidentification of it. And then other problem okay, she thought that I was working for Watson Gambia and she has a personal issue with Watson Gambia. So therefore that I come for a baby when actually the Menge was there because need other 4 more sign, 4 more an order for a post motive. It is that your sign. You are signing for an order to be conducted. So the court order, you can endorse. What is endorse? The document you sign is already on the top of there. It's a form for an order to order a doctor. So if the doctor failed to do that after your signature, that doctor will be charged for contempt. So that's now a legal term. It's an order instructing the doctor to conduct a post-mortem on that person. Okay. So you cannot say those things. So sometimes we'll sort of know, but at the end of the day, I think we are building a very good cordial relationship.
Ye case Jamale cover case will see at bakele ye menu cover. Afumule case Juma ule keta case is the most memorable case for you. Kabiri court reporting start.
Yeah. So what mean the whole and this alleged coup d'état is Sana Fadera. December 30, there is this 5 or 6 people they accused them for they attempted to overthrow the Barrow's administration. Yeah, so yes, Samba court. So what made me so interesting is that out of all 5 or 6 people on Melancholy arranged, only one person convicted the rest. So I even make an analysis of Justice Mahoney Walesita Akuna, in terms of how he delivered the judgment, because I look at whereby some are alleged to be part of the coup, or not as a state use them as a witness against these people. So it becomes a very, very interesting phone case for me, that then it conspired because it takes 2 people to conspire and commit a crime. But you can't tell, okay, Nana, whatever negotiation you have now, come and phone call. So after his testimony, when you man for now, the same crime I will you're convicted for 12 years imprisonment. So it becomes, something very interesting to me. But in other form, normally it happens. Pre-bargain, after you will come and testify for me. So, but it was a very, very interesting case. So I went up and to analyze how did Justice Mahoney reach to that agreement. All these people can be free. But Sanneh has attempted to do certain things by traveling to Farafenni, talking to some barracks commanders, and all that. Even though they do have a meeting at Faraba, they meet there. Those things were established during the trial count, and they have almost 3 or 4 meetings. They are planning about this alleged coup and phone call. We are evidence before the court, but even though Sanneh is appealing, he is dissatisfied with the whole judgment. Sanneh is appealing because he's the only person convicted. So that was one of the cases, because that was the first time seeing somebody who is alleged of the same crime, testifying in favor for the state.
Okay. Ngajele usen la case nte jam fala je baale. Ngajele idabe journalist ol kono. Nsafo fang mo Jamal Karila ila kibaro le kan. Nanata useni bojan la nyin case kabira datita. Fa bandula you were very consistent. Nying kita no nyadi because consistency is very important. Dolbe je ka kodatile ibuga tenteno, but ngajele usenu la case since onset ite multimia lonko you were very consistent. Dol fon ka safele, jonso dol ka safele mol buka laba ka fani kebe sa ya safele tamol belala. How did that happen? Nying kita no nyadi la fa bandula.
Yeah, ko ya fo nyamere I think since the issue findida now. I think that day for Lumina the force and Majesty, because I went up to an extent that I built that relationship with even the police, even the prosecutors, even the court. So sometimes in case solo nada because I cannot be everywhere. So they will tell me I've been arrange court. So I send the information. I think I was the prosecutors they call me and we are ready. We are taking Useno to court. So Kabio Fonya Ross to Carnifing court. Then arrange, but lack of phone call my Olunga or Deneko Dunji Abulo handcuff ni Kafako. Ala force de Kabaf and Mulkafako. I knew Bandil, but I didn't come and found Ganjala Baba. So because I didn't come and I was a marijuana sign member, and so people start leveling all those things. So because Ninte case Ndundakono, more of this high profile case, Sananyol, I feel like near Gabo Bularek. The audience will keep feeling So since Nita Yata an obligation to inform the people, I think it's now become a duty upon you to make sure that you render that service to the people. So then now it becomes an obligation on me to inform the people. Nintara case may start. I want to go until to the end, so that it also helped me in terms of if I want to use that story for any award in the GPU or other things. I want to use it. So, but I miss right now. Okay. Because all those records sold, even though I post Facebook, I have a laptop, I put everything there so that it follows up from 1 to 2. So I can tell you, from the first witness, man testified from the magistrate court, I can give you. So sometimes people reach out to me because Bob case, there are people that are working on a book. They came to me. There are people they do research. They will come and consult me. So now I take university students. Sometimes they will give you a case law study. They will ask me, hey, in Tamanyan, do you have the records of proceedings? So they will come to me. Even last week, there are people who are even asking me, the records from phone calling. So it becomes a duty to me that that stuff. So I need to continue. So to do all those things. So that's why now, like, not I do no letting can go. Until I do no sika, then I owe it to the public. Since that trust for BJ and that support and encouragement BJ, then we should continue this endeavor. So I make sure that Usenula case, I make sure. Bantaba and Fenne Benta Nasaro, I refuse not to go because of Malafika miss. So that shows you how much interest Namen Soroje, because it's a high profile man for the first time in the history. Mafoko Nasoro, maybe during the coup d'etat, so la Kukonyola, but Kafoko, like police or Mamfenke, Yamorekaba. Jada Moita Kido Boyaka Mosababe is the first of its kind. So it becomes a public interest case. So once it becomes a public, you the reporter to you owe it to the public that everybody cannot go there. So there'll be people who will be left behind. So you owe it to those people to put the information at their doorstep.
Okay. Ngajele usen la case kola case tarele ya release le aseta suokono. But ngajele you are a member of Galafana, and then ngajele quickly molu kumbenta nyokang funding ke olu findita burfoot sate okono kela balamba itandi police la findo mi alongo wala keta nyin plaro and then pusan pusoro riding police wal tema. How did you people gala aliya manage nyo nyadi le watu situ ngokono ka funding ke olu kumben nyokang aliya nyinke no nyadi?
Yeah, so number one, ngaje molka galanyul criticize and everybody can tandila ko mumole de melala ko e ka finti e ka luwa ntambali yake ngamad jite fon la diamo mo the same thing aka memfo. But what they fail to understand that ko ni nata na 1997 constitution melan ko len kitabol bela kitabol. Woy banku dingo be sas le ko na constitution wala na banku kitabo na tinyada. I make sure that your defense to the best of your ability can make sure that ukitabo ni mokana atinya mokana doya mokana fenkala. So what is very clear in other section 5 of the constitution. That section that constitution only will find an organ yele me alonko ka the judiciary, because in that constitution ya tandila ko mansa kundanya ndaka dulaso to me alonko to be called the judiciary. And that judiciary be kala fendi me alonko be kiti hotela mo ni motem. So ni usenu kada fendi me alonko loi ya bula loi ko nyin amam fenke dungo buko kitabo nyin bela kitabo wala constitution wala du yo sembo de kiti la process kiti bongo kon ni wo tada fatinya da to banko dingol sign milliard ko the custodians of the law will you break our section 5 sirla no akane wule ya make sure that ko loi même fo kiti bongo ay lo ay ka fendi membe lor so wole gala funding ke wol fentinde so melka foko luang tambali ala manyana kama wala na police sabaro ke je nkai ko let us not go into legal seminar ako we don't have a permit, we should not be here. Nkai ko this is not about the permit, this is about defending the constitution. Kai the first place you where people violated because police officer letter and they go and execute an illegal order because that order itself was illegal in the first place. Kai tandila ko go to mile 2 ni useni ya singolo bunda daro ya think is an illegal order and you disregard the constitution. So you cannot come now, you preach about the law. So it's what do the right thing.
But was it order or appeal?
Huh?
That order that they give them, was it an order or just application for order?
No, they are assaulting for an order.
And
they want to enforce it. Like, it was very funny because so I tell a fakande dani fena ngadira. Bante ite sasmena for ema obunya. So if court give you an order, you first respect the order of the court. Then you sought for court to give you something. Need this dissatisfied about. First accept it. Yake lafta menke, then you go and sort. But it after ko sente ko ite ko useni nyanda ka bula la essay. I feel ve ko hane ata bula la essay. But then ata ente dane ko pour nga order la pour useni mutaje. So Walana state didn't go, the next day like motion of withdraw. How did that the state go? Nimelo motion on nanka move. The court will charge him for contempt. So that's why there was no lawyer at the AG chamber who was ready to go and move that motion. Because Italy alone, many Bulara all doesn't know that, but they know what happens in the court. So while in the AG chambers, there was, according to our information, you have a lawyer go and move the motion a catita. Because they know what is there. So if you go there, before the judge Mafos, he will charge you for contempt. So the contempt in the police will make a salasam. So the background you are in Maltu. Maltu ni dun taje ela dun wala sone ada barka findi. Film ke findi ni jama easy. So nobody was ready to go and move that motion. So the only option is to go with a withdrawal motion, counter motion. So they went with a counter motion to go and withdraw.
So in police you sabo ke
yeah, so not happy about so wala kada kabo kada ngaje ko the number that we wanted in the whole issue might not be prepared, it was not well organized, well coordinated. And Koko, okay, let's give the peace a chance now. Because the commissioner of the region in Natanajan, he spoke to us. So Gaiko will give you that benefit of the doubt. But so manintel wulta usenu manfindi will make sure that we go and continue our protest. So Kabingola we go and talk to the people of Burufut. Kantandila ko membe kiri luan tambaliale. Dum al nal findi da banda mange kali luwal tinya because na 1997 constitutional assembly ko mumanya nakatanya banko ka mealon ka sinna banko la kitabu is the highest order. So even the president akawole mutake kali konte ben 1997 constitutional defender jojo mealon ka be siring akole kali ka antandila ko benyi na defender mbe fama fenkela be training constitutional ko so ngawole aso nyina ko hanata so mal findita yal aras yal samba kiti mo membe siringa kunto nintel pareda you will argue that you are defending the 1997 constitution so kiti bunte sorona no wala so what halbe menke ka albe banko la kitabo fasane so manini mambula laftal natal be finti ma banko la kitabo kan o jamba so the law finto manta kulubal yala manta malbala banko la kitabo me yala ko muntel be la bukode ni nata nanja mbola mutaka semento ya ka wulindi ka ndandila ko menkata ni luwa mantanyo luwa le usenu bula fa masa kunda right sotol kadin kito be ker nata luwa tambale ba fa usenu ta kitindila betala nga luwa nya to nga foka mafa because kumol fotal melalon ko what are be caring I mind because what force they announced Gambia be cancel that very day moti ye maran ko ay daw sot but kumol le foda moli la hakilo fa usani la common sense yaje ko so ku fem bi jana maran ko afisita so wo kamala je wala na so no be caring fana don bi mbo wala kala nga bula for the process start fa elapsed so no kala sa to taje kai ni mo free pass ko an appeal but ni ko be luwa mutale bulo kon telefona be luwa mutala mbuko ko because at the end of the day we are the owners of the state you are the custodians bon telle ke de kije because we elect the president nga ite fana lata mol men you can appoint them as minister of interior, minister of IGP or anything so woto banko mo banko dingol de tade so woto banko dingol la kango ni ko bo burukala ko telle ka mun na kitabo le ngole du bulo kon ko e kali ko ba mutala mole ay fonction fe be tamala wol so wala entel fintindi and ma regret dun so ma fana na nyon sifa ke da ko deke amba mbo sifa le kala ko deke and anything me ala
Kexx ngajele anytime gala fintita mansakunda ekela cool baile does this mean that government really listen to you people because ngajele protocol men yalango alka finti almim funding ke wala ka finti funding ke wala ka finti le ke dankalma andu nal lota la lut aliya bamandi ngajele mansakunda kala lut la nyimbunya does this mean that ko mansakunda tonya nal finti de ke la mo yalla
until based on their reaction but until my life from mafuta that stage to so ekajele ko sometimes abugana zaje menkeda no mandina now you ko menkeda no buruful you come and withdraw now everything why don't you do that at the initial stage because I don't know the mol member mataja buka ke gala di Pabi is still battling with his life. Kunu we went there, we were seeing him. Didn't know me alonko gaswa yama. Didn't know maybe it can develop into another sickness because I'm a lone soul man strong to resist certain things or things solta. So you feel me alonko muka. When kajela ko that's the only language you may understand. When you need to be done in diplomatic channel, I can't do the right because before kalabe finda we do normally right. Can't andila ko laftale nyine kendo nalma nyinke mitrebe fintila. So if it is a government me alonko, I understand they accept their failures and their weakness because there is no perfect government. But ni mo keno the ni feel always that's the time they dance to tune. Bajala ko romansa kunda that's the only language they understand. So they will understand as far as there is violation of laws in this country, there are corruptions and they fail to do the right thing like commission. They will always be in the street because we also that's our office. That's where we know the street is our office. Likewise, they have their own office. Therefore, this is our office. Once you come out, we will come out. Once you didn't, so all BJ and we believe that it is paid dividends because resourcing they end up accepting what we believe that they are failures. So what ni moya analyze wo nyama mbajala ko they listen to us.
Okay, ngajele protest nyum kola la ngajele jite I statement made le adiamuta le after Facebook live adiamuta urging the police commander ka police to stand in their ground and kabring jite nyum kuma call for protest kola la how do you interpret this statement and nyimbe situation on impact la nyadile right now?
Yeah, so what until few people there think but as an official of Gala coming and discussed on the page or ngajele farmer word. That's why we didn't come with an official statement to that individuals they are individual away from Gala. If they feel they want to respond to ngajele individual Hakim and other people went to dental phone joint to talk. But ko ablaya for nyame rek wole bije loi memfo ni o manke. Ite mem yalonko loi tinya bole support ka itelebe kulubali yala. So neither contelbe wala kamunda that you are indirectly talking to yourself. It's so unfortunate, but ngala nako digite will not dictate what the police will do. Police only alone ko what jumale nyantaka force use and what jumale manyantaka force use. Itemanke the person. So naka for let them use a maximum force. Until ni bijele maximum force the kabadu da dal ngamela ko itelle nata kan telephone command. Kayantandina ko calm your people because yalona ko will never bow down. And don't nimol be feel the protest la nga file always until beka sarana family la kayantande we might be arrested. We expect those things. We might be tortured. Si baramano jele school si keno na jele and you could see aligo anyol kefa tro kol kono la camera la spanal ko but so mo ko if you call a protest they come out. So that shows you that this is a commitment me alam ko yatale. So there will be no amount of intimidation. But ngalona ko there are people me alam ko they don't want this. So they will be anti-Intel Gala, and we expect criticism. We expect people, even government can use them to come and attack us. We'll be because there is no government that wants a group of people, protest to expose their incompetence or to expose their failures and other things. So always they will also have a mechanism in place. They will make sure that they discredit you people. So we will see that Ahmed Jide is a tool of those type of people. But at the end of the day, Hana Melkar follow for their friends. It was miscalculated move so it doesn't worth us it affects some of our members, but for me personally, knowing Amajite and knowing certain things may happen, I feel like it was not worth for Gala officials to come Kajabe officially. Okay,
finally Kexx, even we yamarle sotla as a court reporter, even we yamar sotla mulmen yalongo ebelafila kake Kexx nyon sifale waranto katambe Kexx la kake court reporter yemu yamare soro mo sifale men yalon ko be wulika nyintemen.
Yeah, so number one, ebe fon fenkele in dunia you must have a passion for it. Niman person sotala just kake for its sake avec la problem. So anybody who wants to be a court reporter, you must have a passion for it. Kayantandi la bejare somanda ye la faso ju eta banjun. You go time also because that time moment is you sit down there at a mobile mala at a mala because court mobile book arrange will charge you for content. Maybe there in silently you are just listening to other parties. So it requires patience and it requires for it marry because you need to be something you need to be very fast in terms of neighbor right kind or neighbor record to go and transcribe. You should be a very fast transcriber. So what we find that is important. But first, before you be advice that at least familiar yourself. They have a booklet to understand the procedures of the court because Nima understand for you to report from. Report for Nimo Doarit, Mialongo is a legal minded person that I understand what you are trying to establish because for so long Nikoko at the court start it start from pre-trial conference. Kayantandi latel babies said the jarol nim film aliat talanyo tema from there me alongo you start trying to introduce the case itself. A bill of indictment he read. So Nico Modo, what is bill of indictment? He will then ask the layman in English what is bill of indictment. So you have a charge sheet or read. So the charge sheet is correct, but neither the high court because every stage of the court fana ya fansu language also. Bayala ko ni nada High Court, Hussein will be called an accused person. But since another court of appeal, he will be called the defendants. You understand? So the state, instead of Yekumandi at the High Court, the Kafue state, neither they be called the appellant. So therefore, no now the state versus but the appellant say Babakara so because now they so Kajako language so level. So you need to understand all those things so Milalonko they are coming up understand what is the difference. So you understand that it becomes very easy. Among Fentimana and Collier, you just need concentration on the candidate, but you must have a determination for it. You cannot achieve it. So I start training them, but they court collateral. They went. So many people pass.
Thank you so much. 2 minutes more than time won't about GT Menfo. Money reaction.
GT Menfo Mamra from the time dealer wala be code be case la analysis la jibera drum ni atra coming is also part of it because to be candidate coming apply for nyami to pay attention to GT is just unnecessary, very unnecessary. But hadabadi wala nyanto being alone. So coming to Kexx me explain mole jang wala ni tandi mole jang. Hankabi Niajibe is still bringing us back to the violation of our constitution. Understand me? Call to the call state current to nyama procedure movement, rules movement, or policy movement, regulation movement, wanyanta normal. Fire exhaust. Then you buy the Minkela, York. And in failing to do that, you will see that the same state violated our constitution under Section 7. Because whatever procedure and then the rules and policies that the court will do, it is guaranteed in our constitution, Section 7. You understand? So you buy a co, you couldn't have to Tamangela, you need to exhaust land. The listener alone could be Simfania de Letala. You look appeal on Yindunde. And when it comes to I know for Galacap standing that exactly this is it. Section 5 and Section 6, where I tend to the enforceability of our constitution, which is Section 5, and then to defend the constitution, which is Section 6. Me Galacap Tamande. Then the Public Order Act, what the constitution was supersede no. You understand me? And it's the same Public Order Act. You have to apply the permit. You have to done, but there are certain periods. Appeal because police you have to apply your permit at least 2 weeks before the event. So therefore, when events occurred in an emergency way, then the Section 5 and Section 6 also guarantee you to go and tell them no. Banko Kitabo mean for especially Section 6 I have for tenting. And there the Public Order Act cannot play.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So what I mean for the thing, I analyze me for the Tumano and Titano Abela, but Tata Nada, Masakunda, Yalone Minta Mandicam, but they deliberately ignore the rules and then the constitution just to violate it.
Thank you. Mani,
that is it.
About GT, time of Ferentin draw, Abanta Janikana Tunkaraka, 2 minutes. 2 minutes.
Well, Ahmad GT. O multi mi alonko abe mil fon kambi ani mil be cool kika. Kuti jama min fol fon betu. Because near NPP GB as a political party. Tabiri man Ahmad Tanu pura lo to yala Birkamere Council. Na jela Ahmad yek 2 mirol mil betu la walkan. At one point I made komi patile mi alonko ka tilimo fon tamani. Yo beyond that fana ngani force family fana na problem ul fana njel. But the same Ahmad wole nata bi abe nyori wole duma kaje ko mi abe fen soto no bulo ko nyami yo so to pour ni aje nyim fon ninkel fana be kuma fo ke matenting isalon ko jiko mo mi halon ko ajiko minti aba jiko doro nekeka pour kaje asa fen soto no masa kunda bulo ko na be ming because ko kuna be wolle kuma jewol fo ka wollem so milu amuta fenu because kunu ka beri woketa banko dingol lota failed komi he was unfairly treated kaje komi anyanta lola tonya NPP the ticket wala wodulal because I naming contest mulla jero bari Ahmad jide seminti amandiade Ahmad bu nyankon korongolti ya fa amle Ahmad katara falinal watio wad so fondingel fani alo dulajele sign towards kanyim bankun defend comme Kexx ya fo nyamindo supremacy of the constitution is a very sacred clause in the constitution of the Gambia kaje ko mi nabe defend na ni ñu fo ninkel la finto jibe no constitution o diamta signa fulal the supremacy of the constitution pour the constitution o defend hana tar one clause hani president mimu the highest authority the presidency hani one clause ne wole tinyade we the even the commoner sama dola anenta defendal to the last ability as a minkeno but ala second opportunity fana minute freedom pour kaje kum yefindi movement kata protest yela ko ko fana bi ma no constitutional opportunity ready e foninkel fana min betu so bakin fulala be foninkel bulo kono jang finto min keta akuma ya batal anu finto min nafa betu ngajale bi usenu fela afintita atata ko bina bola wo koma and so fana noma because komi kemesene dia mo atenia hani saying it is within the limits of the law kaje komi state saying sari applying ke no puruka ta kaje komi se usenu la ko jibe kuno nyami bari ka bering abulata o kay loi min fo nyanta kelal anu luwo man ke nyamen durom pour model lo ka loi defend banko constitution o nyanta kelal anu woketala so jite be kuma fola wodulado jite ta si nyamo kuna jana mo mala kuma mo defend
Tunkara ye jite moyle do you think you should have said those words?
Well
2 minutes.
Yes, quickly ndo membe ndebulu nyinkodo maybe jite la janimbe futala wolo follow so nyen masakunda la desire pour mo jama quand même comme il a fallu que loi tinya so ndela jero do niaje même for at the end of the day they were not willing to go back to court because it be select on consequence dollar so but moma for I want to believe menu case ni handle kan moma for alkanata it in their own wisdom ya de manyan kada because what they are doing is wrong so what I'm saying is these are things that maybe cake in society con every day either you are government or for or against. It's not supposed to be supported. So entirely I blame the Ministry of Justice. Yes. They are completely, they mismanaged the case. Well, I don't know about that. But what I'm saying, because I strongly believe, I can say I don't know the minister, but you understand. But I have a privilege of knowing President Barrow and sitting with him and chatting him. I know how the man think. There was no way this kind of information will come to me. I will say to go.
Is the president happy about this?
I'm telling you that President Barrow is not that kind of person.
Is he happy?
Do you understand? So if this ministry, I don't know if the ministers know about it, but the people in that ministry, people should be held accountable for this. Because these are small, minor cases that are not supposed to be done in the first place. There is no point of arresting people, when they exhaust their old cases, taking them and say, I'm using law. Fine. Even if you take them 72 hours, I will come out. But that is the case. So this is not entirely, government desire on breaking the law. So I understand. That is why when these guys goes out, they were eventually released because government now understand, the authority understand. We were involved in talking to people. Look, what is happening is wrong. Okay, these guys should go home. Whatever is going to happen, let it happen later. So that was the reason why they was saying go out. It's not only the pressure from only outside, but there was also pressure from within. That was a collaborative vote. That's what I want public to understand. We also have people who see things that everybody should be given a right for fair hearing. When the gala was arrested, let me quickly say this for the first time. When the gala came out, I was very much involved. You can ask them. I went to meet people. I went to 4 police stations myself. I meet most of them. I meet Umar at the Bursubi Willingham Mahia. And went all the way to Banjulundi paramilitary police station. And I went to 7 other places, no get up paid. Because they are my friends at UTG. No Umar Sanneh, Umar is my friend at UTG. Do you understand? So we were involved and I made a lot of effort.
Okay.
On the ground to make sure they are released. The day we are releasing, I was on ground at the youth moment with all the crowd. I was there.
Tunkara, you are
so
very close.
These are the things that government gives credit to fight these young people. For me, this kind of things is something that I think we should all fight for. Nobody should. And our police system also needs to be checked because our police, they did it to me. Police who are there will take you to police station and somebody who was never there will come and connive with colleagues, lying to each other just to have repented bad. Our police does that. So we cannot entirely this is not about good people. We are all Gambian. We are a society. All right. I'm speaking as a Gambian. All right. So these are one thing. So for the Amadide remarks, Amadide, I'm connecting this to this. Amadide is not saying this. In my view, he cannot tell police co, you should go out and do your job. No. What is meant by this is he might say it out of anger,
Because there are also people who are part of protesters, acting so braggadocical, thinking that they are also an umbrella, they can do anything. There are people among the protesters who behave like that. So I'm not just against people like those people. In as much as you have right to go, you should also understand that nobody has power more than the state. And the state is controlling all of us. So his response is not entirely to the young people, as some people are trying to take Ahmadine as a young man. They understand. He understands this kind of game things. But he is not responding to genuine people who are going out. Like for instance, when they came there, Kemase gave the police commissioner benefit of doubt. No, I give them and say, okay, we are going home because he understands the law. Okay, we are going home, but tomorrow when you come back, this guy is not out, then there's a problem. We are not going to go out. So, and they went home on that day. The next day, what happened? He was released. So, because we know there was the law was broken. So, these are the things that even with Gala's time, Gala, for me, my stand on some of us was on Sunday, they must be released Saturday or Sunday. They cannot wait until Monday. And what happened? We are all released on Sunday.
Thank you.
So there are a lot of things that happen behind the scene when this issue, because nobody wants chaos in this country. All these people are protesting. Umar Sabo is my personal friend. They understand. The matter what happened on phone we chat. So and many other people. So but that doesn't mean when they go out, when they are wrong, we tell them we are wrong. Do you understand? When we want to go against our government, actually we want to uproot our government, we can, as young people, we are not going to accept that. But if we know that what is happening is wrong, and it's not supposed to be happens to anybody, we will all come together and stood on our ground and say, right thing must be done. So people in authority listen to the people on ground. So we are all in this together.
You are very close to the president. Do you think the president is happy with emoji?
I mean, what about being happy? The point is, the rule of law must be upheld. And that's what is happening. Do you understand? That is the problem right now. The point is, the rule of law. No. And then everybody's going back to
that was not the question.
That is the problem.
Subsequently, youths are happy. Is the president happy about emoji?
Some youths are happy. Youths are happy. I was
Is he happy about Ministry of Justice, their handling of this case?
No, what happened in Ministry of Justice at the end of the case is not correct. They should have handled it better. That's what I can say. But as what if the president is or not, I cannot speak on.
All right, thank you.
But see, me after coming to president for happy, the farmer happy, ministry la kuona. More than that, the president from Kenya.
Alcana more they politicize. Some politicizing game. You see, now after the election, let me tell you guys, if you guys want to win election, Allah can mobilize.
All right, thank you. Thank you.
So this case is this is why sometimes people are right. Thank you so much. And they start I'm telling you
la wato minta pour di grand Bantaba programme la moy ton nga Kexx Sanneh nga tentu bake nga jay nyalon ko ko nga tentu bake nga jay ala wato nyalon ko ata kani dan kuma jam di grand Bantaba programme to mba fala barka bake ala wato minta la moy la ni juber la be dawda gambia fo gambia bantala ngal be tentu bake ngal jay alla la moy ko nyimmana anin alla wato nyalon ko aliata ka di grand Bantaba programme jube al stenten ka stal ki YouTube al subscribe mun fara jamba fara drong alama suto to diala wassalam.
Welcome to Care Madam Sanneh, Borom, Sweden. This is another Care Finder masterpiece. Let me take you through it. The first thing that really blew my mind about this house is the crafted seating area just around the car garage. Amazing. And the door is soundproof and transparent. I can't wait to see the rest of it. And now we inside. Look at the living room and how spacious it is. Care Finder, y'all always outdoing yourself. And we now at the kitchen area, and you can see me doing my flexibilities and the drawers are so spacious, and then they have a gas cooker. What else to see? Let's go. Now we in the guest room. Look at how big this guest room is. Super big and nicely decorated. And they have a guest bathroom as well. Man, I can't wait to see the master bedroom. Okay, here we go. We in the master bedroom. Look at how big and spacious this is. And look at how big and spacious the master bathroom is as well. CareFinder, man, you guys are always doing it right. And now let me take you outside a little bit. Let me check my swagger up in this. You can tell I'm killing it on the runway. So now let me take you at the back. They have a swimming pool. My God, look at how spacious this swimming pool is. I can't wait to really jump inside, to be honest. And they have a Bantaba sitting area as well. So you can just chill and have a good time with family and friends. And then they have swings for children or couples. This is the right spot. Trust me. And this house is just next to Care Madam Seka. Up your sleeves for our next gated community. What is this gated community gonna look like? Because CareFinder, they always coming up with this special, amazing stuff that we don't even think about. So I really cannot wait for it. So in case you're interested, you can just call 4172215 for more information. And disclaimer, this property is not for sale. Has an owner and not open for viewing. CareFinder is here for you.
Nyatimbo ntemu APS leti. Ndemu APS leti. APS Gambia le mu APS ti. Katun APS is 100% Gambian.
Bari nyatimu ete kufuri mbala kentala di. Ke nyatimbo ntari taba futu wola. At least it ya fonte ko APS nkullo balbiji. Imo fon fonya fon ka fonyo ko ibina do ibodo ko APS jam fane mo fana fonya nyatimbo. Yo mi fo enda sija. Ndanga moyro ko APS wallet isa kodo kinu. Min tata fa wuli muang ime charge fenna wala nta sindi ja
ako ngatimbo nkoy ko kabo transito kata wala fa wuli muang ite fenne dola womu zero file bitun kabo wo 20,000 la ka sele sal ike tamuna ike charge mun fa abuka fensi
wait
1% da malam ngati
wota yara gambe no be nyanta wala kana APS wala tele mobile ko ko kodo ki ibadi ngol
yajale ni APS kabrin nan credit ko to bari men kum mayata be wala fa mo kas pawat ni suto be during suto be dibining abe tema biti kol sonda ila APS mobile lo sika ni asika to ya safe da men ko fen ko atondi nawek ha ni oto je nyamen do tachi ama ni ama do abanta ila kas pawa isa hawasima ajibe free joriti je
otambade ngameno albesito wulle fisiyata alna leta APS wallet yela la mobile ko APS wallet nyaako doro bari ko do nim fata do suko kon to ru
ni be fo no le mol nyaala jam nim fata do suko kon ba fo le
basiti je mbita ndo register je de kadu sa APS 100% namum
APS 100%
APS
Gambia 100%.
Looking for the perfect home away from home in the Gambia? Welcome to BC's Residence, your ideal short-stay apartment in the heart of Bundum. Whether you're visiting for business, pleasure, or an extended stay, BC's Residence offers you the comfort, convenience, and privacy you deserve. Enjoy spacious, well-appointed accommodations in a peaceful neighborhood just behind Nusrat High School. Our residence combines modern amenities with authentic Gambian hospitality, ensuring your stay is both comfortable and memorable. At BC's Residence, you are not just booking a room, you're finding your perfect base to explore all that the Gambia has to offer. Ready to book your stay? Contact us today. +220-941414. BC's Residence at gmail.com. BC's Residence, Bundum, behind Nusrat High School. Your comfort is our priority.
forever.